Hello and welcome to the Invincible Podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the... all right.
Hey there. Welcome.
Didn't see you there.
Didn't see you come in.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Invincible Podcast, probably the best superhero podcast in the universe. This is a show where friends gather around and talk about Invincible, a comic book by Robert Kirkman. I am one of your hosts, Bill, and with me today is Ryan.
Hi.
Hey, and TJ.
You did it!
I did it!
Good job, Bill.
Thanks. So this episode is a little bit different. There is not really an invincible topic, but it's more suggestions from our listeners on what they want us to talk about.
Mm-hmm. We have a couple things right up front that we want to talk about, though. A couple housekeeping things. First off, find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good stuff. Ratings on iTunes are appreciated. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and you can email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. That's where a lot of listeners got in touch with us today for these suggestions.
Twitter had a bunch, too.
Twitter had a bunch. Yeah. People on Facebook emailed us. I mean, it was good times. So other than that, there's something else we want to bring up. The fact that if we continue our bi-weekly schedule, there will not be an episode coming out the week of issue 143, just because that's the way that issue falls on. It's kind of like a week later than normal. And so what we've decided is, because we like having a new episode come out about the new issue a few days later, just because we're all hyped about it and want to talk about it, what we're going to do is we're going to skip a week, kind of. So our next episode is actually going to be on the 22nd, not on the 15th as it normally would. But instead, that weekend, the 15th, 16th, we're going to try and do our video game stream. We're aiming for the 16th, probably going to be around 6 o'clock Eastern. And we want to play Injustice 2. I think it would be fun to do that. We've been wanting to do a fighting game to talk all about how Invincible would work as a fighting game. Talk about what characters we would want to see in it, what kind of stages, the powers, who would win in fights and all that kind of stuff. And I think that'd be a lot of fun. So we'll do that for maybe about an hour or so, and then maybe if people are in the chat or watching us, we'll play something else or maybe do a party game on there or something. Just kind of hang out. And that video will obviously be on YouTube, and everybody will be able to watch it, or listen to it or whatever.
If you're interested, then first thing you need to do is make sure you're following us on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. Pending changes. We're shooting for the 16th, but
it is a crazy month. This is December.
It is crazy.
I mean,
it's Star Wars weekend, first of all.
The week that we'll be recording that video game stream.
Yeah, that stream. So we understand if people are busy that Saturday, but we're going to try and do it anyways. And people can, like I said, people can always watch it afterwards. And we kind of want to do that as, not so much of a replacement for not recording that week, but just to maybe,
just something fun.
When did you see The Force Awakens? Did you see it that Thursday?
I was in New York City.
I saw it the day it came out.
So
did you
was
see
I
it
with you?
No, I didn't see it until like weeks later.
Me and you saw it, TJ.
I saw it the day it came out.
No, I saw it as soon as I got back with you after.
Oh, you're right. I waited for you and I was pissed at you about it. Oh wait, no.
No,
I
you
saw
it
it
without
twice.
me. Yeah,
I went with
It was your
Matt.
second time.
Yeah, I went with Matt and Basil.
Basil.
Our friend
But yeah,
Basil.
so we know that Star Wars weekend might be crazy. But that'd be cool because on the stream we'll be able to talk about what we thought about it, because I'm sure we'll be seeing it on the 14th. Other than that, not really much in the way of housekeeping news.
Before we get into everybody else's topics,
We got the news too.
a few things that I want to talk about. Let's get into the news.
News first?
You know what I'd
Let's
like
do
to
news
do?
first. What?
Get into the fucking news.
The first one's a big one.
No.
No?
That's old school Podcast Beyond, isn't it?
Yeah, but they still do it.
They do?
Yeah, they like nod to it.
No, they absolutely do it.
I haven't listened to an episode of Podcast Beyond.
They do it
it
on
on
Funny Games Daily.
Games
Years.
Daily, yeah.
Yeah.
Years.
Roper's
Yeah.
Report.
So anyways, other podcasts.
Ugh.
Invincible news. Invincible related news. Ryan Ottley has drawn the last page of Invincible.
Illustrated is what I think he would like it to be called.
Fuck. No, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's start from the beginning.
Oh, man. All right.
Hello and welcome to the Invincible Podcast.
No. Not that again. So, yeah, as of the 28th, He tweeted out that he drew the last page.
Is he done?
He's done.
Like done. Like he did all the inking?
I assume that means it is done. Like he is done. This is his last page of Invincible.
What do you think? You know what? I would like to know. Ryan, you never answer us when I ask you questions, but please, God, email us in or write on Twitter. What did it feel like? What did you do? What did you do the millisecond after you lifted your pencil or pen
broke it in half
off the sheet, and it was the last line you ever drew in Invincible? What did you do right afterwards?
According to the picture, it looks like he wrote the end, which is great. I want to know what you guys think.
He's responded to things we've said on the podcast before.
Yeah, I want to know what you guys think the last page is going to be. Do you think it's going to be a splash page?
Who says?
I think it's gonna be dialogue.
Who says that?
Just words?
Yeah.
Who said Ryan Ottley drew the last page
right.
of Invincible?
It might be.
He
Corey
did
Walker.
put the end on there, but he could have just
his end.
Yeah, that's. I mean that. It didn't look like it was something that was going to be in the comic.
Oh no,
you know
it's not. No, that's out of emergency.
Ryan Ottley drew the last page of Invincible.
You think Ryan Ottley did? I think Corey Walker did.
I think Corey Walker
I
did
think
too.
Corey Walker.
Really?
Corey
'Cause
Walker
he drew the
started
first
it.
one?
I think he started it. He's going to finish it.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. I think that Corey Walker's section, because we know they're sharing this issue. I think that Corey Walker's is going to be the second half of the issue.
Epilogue.
And so you don't think it's going to be staggered throughout, like every other page is going to be, or one is on Earth, the other one is in space,
like during the robot monster girl thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I'd like for it to be like a Harry Potter-esque epilogue where it's Corey Walker's.
Do you follow Corey Walker on Twitter or Instagram?
Yeah.
He doesn't say anything ever, all the time, never.
He recently said that he's going to be. He recently said that he's going to be, revealing his art for 144. That's the next time we're going to see something he's drawing. So, but what you looking at, Bill?
My watch vibrated.
Yeah, but what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a splash page? Do you think it's going to
be a full page?
Do you think it's going to be a happy final page? Remember, if we think that Corey Walker's going to be the epilogue,
going to be a variation of the cover.
Really?
Yeah.
Like kind of a stance
of him and of the cover of 144.
No, it's not going to be the cover, but it's going to be something like that, like him in his garb, like maybe with his army behind him or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Corey Walker will do maybe a little bit more of an emotional thing afterwards.
I literally have no idea. That's a great question because I don't know I don't even know how I feel about it.
Right? Isn't it kind of weird? Like, it's weird to think that... Isn't it weird to think that all the Ryan Ottley pages of Invincible are in the world right now? They're done.
No, that's weird. How slowly are you going to read that issue?
I'm really nervous about it. You know what I thought about? And we still have to make our plans for the final episode.
We should do it naked. We should all do it naked.
I kind of want us all
to be naked.
Read it in physical, not on digital, not naked, Bill.
I was going to say.
But together and just like have it. Like,
I
want to read it.
I'm going to want to read it a couple times before we talk about
That's
it,
the thing. No, I don't want to read it and then record right away.
Right.
Maybe
I feel like we should get up in the morning, the day it comes out, and get physical copies and read it.
Maybe
I'm not going to wait.
Take a vacation day.
Ever since Image has been releasing this shit on digital at like 6 a.m., I fucking wake up at 6 a.m. and read it.
It's so nice.
You're welcome to join me while I'm sitting in bed reading it.
You sleep in the nude, don't you?
Naked.
Well, that's why he wants to read the final.
Right, exactly.
All right. The only other news item we have, which really isn't much of a news item, just again clarification. Seth Rogen did another AMA on Reddit, and yep, they're still writing it. They're still writing the movie. So set your expectations accordingly.
Is this the one that you guys asked?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
I think his response was we're still writing that shit.
Still writing that shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Seth Rogen.
Go for it, TJ.
Seth Rogen recently announced that him and Evan Goldberg are doing a new comedy called Flarsky, a new movie. They're also doing a new ABC liberal conservative comedy series on ABC. They're producing an NBC comedy. They're producing a new R-rated movie called Good Boys. Mm-hmm. I don't like it.
I know, and then there's still that.
Stop doing things.
What was that other one? The festival.
The festival.
They have the rights to the
music
festival.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Obviously, there'll probably be a Future Man season 2. There's obviously Preacher season 3.
Yeah.
I mean, they're busy.
How do they?
It's going to be years. It's going to be years. Mm-hmm. What was our bet? 2019, you said, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, no.
That's how I feel about it now.
No fucking way.
I think you
thought it was earlier.
We said later.
No, I still don't think it's too far off. I say it's going to be 2020. I think by 2019 we'll have facts. It will be by 2019 we will know whether or not the movie is coming out. And it will be either remember when that was a thing, or can't you believe they cast so and so?
Do you think that this movie has the potential to not even
Happen? Yes.
Yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, everything does.
How many
I mean, there's nothing.
movies get
It's still in writing.
cut down?
Like, it's still early
Dropped.
pre-production. It's
suppose.
definitely a possibility. But, of course, I don't want it to. So, I don't know. Do you guys think that if it gets dropped, somebody else would pick it up?
No.
No? Do you think this is its best
Well,
shot?
it's Universal, right?
Yeah.
That has the rights to it?
Yeah.
Because the comic is ending, I don't think anybody would pick it up.
And it makes me nervous because...
They'd pick up Saga before they picked up Invincible. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, there's other things out there, more popular things.
Say what you will about whether or not you like Seth Rogen's style and all that kind of stuff, but he is a comic book nerd. He does appreciate comic books. He does his best to do adaptations, whether or not you like them.
I just recently watched Green Hornet again. It was on
Did you?
TV.
But I'd be scared if another I'd be scared if another writer or producer or director or whoever picked it up that has no affiliation and was just trying to make another superhero
Yeah,
movie.
I don't know if I've just come to terms with the fact that it's them, so I'm feeling comfortable, or if I actually am comfortable with them working on the movie.
Yeah.
I think when it was announced, we were just so excited that like
Yeah.
people
And then-
we
yeah, but then
knew
shortly
were
after-
actually doing.
Well,
were doing
okay,
the
so
movie.
who do you think would be a better fit for a writing, producing, directing?
Oh, jeez.
Christopher Nolan.
Frank Darabont.
No, not Frank Darabont again. No, I don't know.
Zack Snyder.
I don't know. That's
Fuck Zack Snyder. Fuck him, dude.
I know. I don't like him either.
Ugh.
I don't mind him.
What's
I
the
think
last?
he's done
What's the
good.
last Zack
No, I
Snyder
know.
movie that you've loved?
Let's talk about it. No, it's one of our questions.
Yeah, we'll talk
save
about it later.
It is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of our questions.
But anyways, that's it. Set your expectations accordingly. The Invincible movie is a ways off, but that doesn't mean we still can't be cautiously optimistic and hopeful about it. TJ, before we get into the questions, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I have topics of my own. I'd like to mull over real quick.
It's up to you. Do you wanna jump into something, or do you want me to start it off?
Let's start here because this is something that we discussed a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Well, but you go
Okay.
first.
Well, either way.
No, you go first.
Okay. He saw it, so we'll go with that one first.
All right.
So this isn't something that we discussed a couple weeks ago, but I knew
I'm
as soon
so
as Bill,
confused right now.
I knew we'll save that one, but I knew as soon as Bill saw it, he'd want to talk about it immediately.
Okay.
Let's talk because we've all seen it.
Okay.
Disney's Coco.
Oh,
You
really?
saw Coco too?
Yes, I did.
And you saw Coco?
We saw Coco.
You saw Coco together.
Yes.
Did you cry?
No.
No.
Now, all right. A little bit of context, I suppose. I love Disney. Big Disney fan.
We both,
TJ,
me and
big
Ryan
Disney.
both do.
Bill, you like Disney?
You like Disney?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Pixar movies.
Uh-huh.
I was pumped for this movie because
I-
it is a Disney movie that is not a princess movie. I was excited for it.
Well, here's the thing. I was not excited for Inside Out, and then it shocked the hell out of me. It was super surprising how good it was, in
I
my
just
opinion.
thought it was okay.
Oh, I loved it.
I still haven't
it's
watched
one
it
of
all the way through.
What?
Yeah.
It's one of the few movies that actually make me tear up almost every single time. It's so good.
Oh, little Ryan.
Yeah. Bill just asked if we cried during Coco. Anyways,
A bunch of bitches.
I did.
so I went into Coco hoping it would have that surprise, and it was good. It was good. It was just
was good.
exactly
I liked
what
it.
I expected from the trailer.
What?
Yeah.
I agree. I thought it was good. It definitely wasn't bad. It did not meet my expectations because my expectations were very high. I will say that.
And we're not going to get into
I
spoilers.
can't say anything negative
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
but it
there's
was
nothing,
good.
nothing
Okay.
negative about it. It was very good. I just wasn't blown away by it.
So, I thought, and you know what? I think I've seen parts of Inside Out that are like the sad ones where he's like, "Take her to the moon
God,
for me."
it's so good.
Okay.
That though,
That
like
is
I
so
didn't
good.
really care for that movie, but that fucking moment
Not only that scene, but
Okay.
was
never.
that moment was better than anything that happened in Coco.
You're fucking out of your mind.
yeah.
Excuse me, but you're out of your mind. So Coco, for me, I didn't even see a full trailer. I didn't even know what it
Really?
was about. I knew that it was like the Mexican Day of the Dead culture.
Yeah.
Like he went there. Was he dead?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I would say about it did the Click thing for me, where Adam Sandler's Click.
Yeah.
Like once it got sad, it didn't stop
Yeah.
being sad.
Yeah.
And it just continued to fucking make you just want to die. That's how Coco was for me.
Yeah.
There's a part, you know which
Yeah.
part it is. towards the end.
Yep.
Towards the end.
That moment.
And I just could not stop crying.
Wow.
I could not stop crying. Yeah.
Okay, well, for one, Bill is the only parent. He has a son. I think that has a lot.
That has a lot to do with it.
Okay,
so there's a lullaby in it that you find out is a lullaby.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're like, oh, first of all, the twist in it, I didn't see coming at all.
I did, but not that exact. I knew something was off.
Yeah, I knew something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I knew something was off too because the whole message he was like, leave your family, and I'm like, what is going on? Anyways,
no spoilers.
So, but there's a part where the reoccurring song, Remember Me, it comes back as a lullaby, and at that point, I don't want to get into it again, but that point had me like, I could just imagine that scenario happening to me.
Yeah.
And then from that moment on, it just didn't stop being an emotional roller coaster. And I think that it hit home because it wasn't sad in that, like, it wasn't, like, obvious. You know what I mean? I think it pulls on different heartstrings in a different way.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it was very good.
Which is why I think, like, other people will connect to it in a different way. Like, parents, I think will connect to it differently. It's going to be one of those things that
I could see watching years from now and be like, holy shit, this is really good.
After you have kids, I guarantee. Yeah.
The other thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago, we haven't talked about, but we said we were going to, Stranger Things Season 2. Oh. Now that we've watched it, and people have had plenty of time to watch it. If you haven't watched it, maybe... I don't think we're not going to really spoil too much. We won't spoil anything, but... Bill, you were the one that hadn't seen it at all, right, at the time?
Yes.
So I thought that it was not even close to comparing to the first season. I thought it was good, but it felt like a standalone, like a filler episode, but it was a whole season. And I worry that every season from now on is just going to be like, a new monster, how are we going to defeat it? And it's like, it didn't connect to the first season at all. I thought the fact that they separated 11 was very typical. The entire season, like, oh, we'll just separate her from the entire story. I thought it was I thought it was good, but those were the negative things that I saw.
I loved it and can see where you're coming from and agree with you to a degree. I think it absolutely felt like a sequel. It was a very blatant sequel, and not in a bad sense, but it. And I'm sure we're going to talk about this more throughout this episode when it comes to Alien vs. Aliens, Batman Begins versus Dark Knight. The first season was so special because of what it was, and that you're learning about it, you're finding more about these characters. But that's the thing about the second
season, is it did not expand on the universe at all.
I disagree.
I
what did you learn about the Upside Down? I like where the characters went. Okay, the Upside Down and that kind of stuff,
that's the universe. That's why the show is what it is.
Yeah. No, I can see where it comes about with that. But it's always been
what made the first season so good was the mystery of what the fuck is going on. They just didn't add to, like, we still don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
They didn't play with us about, like, where did this come from? Like, even if they played with us, not answered it, but, like, they just didn't do anything.
I mean, what more do you want? Do you want them to explain what the other side is more than they already have? Well, they already have. It's another dimension. It's just the tear in between. Like, I mean, I don't need to know.
Technically, it's not, though. They talked about what it is or what it could have been. The Mind Flayer is a world eater, essentially. Like, he wants to kill everything that's there.
So that's the thing. I don't want to know more than that.
I would like to know more about the Upside Down. I don't like how it didn't answer questions like, okay, so in order for anyone to leave the Upside Down, they needed to find a gate, right? Or a doorway. Like that big red gate at the end.
Yeah.
Then how come the Demogorgon from the first season was able to, like, just go through a wall? And then disappear, like, with Will in the shed. And if the Demogorgon was just a wild animal from the first season, it wasn't really a monster. Like, there were many Demogorgons. Those were all Demogorgons, right?
Yeah, the Demodogs were
early, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have questions like that about it, but my overall opinion, I thought that the second to last and the last episode were fucking phenomenal. Like, when 11 was floating.
Yeah.
Closing the gate, that part, like, goosebumps everywhere. But I agree with you on that. Like,
I just love the characters. Honestly, every single character is such a good character. Even the characters you hate are so good.
You would like it.
Oh, yeah, I'll probably watch it.
Have we talked about it?
We've talked about it on this podcast. Yeah.
Speaking of other movies, my other topic, Star Wars predictions.
Let's get we are going to be able to get into it later. Somebody wrote in.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't see that one.
Well, it's not exactly.
What a surprise!
But there's a Star Wars topic later, and we're going to get into it later.
Okay.
Ooh, twist! What a twist!
All right, so we're going to get into some feedback from everybody. Again, thank you so much to everybody that wrote in. We got a lot more than I expected.
It's going to be a long episode.
It's going to be, so buckle up.
Because we're going to try and get to as many as we can.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And a good spattering of Invincible related stuff too. So
Stay
buckle
tuned.
Up. First up, we're starting with a doozy because I don't know if we're going to have the energy to talk about this one later in the episode. But shortly after we talked about last issue, what was it? Issue 142? Yes. Tommy wrote in to us a nice lengthy email all about the spaghetti monster, and I want to get into this with you guys a little bit.
Yeah, he had like a lot of details and like.
So I can't read the whole email because it's really long, but I broke it down. So hopefully I do it justice, Tommy. But here we go. I want you guys to listen to this, and I'm gonna see if you can grasp this. And this is all him. This is what he came up with.
Okay.
A few things we gotta wrap our head around. When the spaghetti monster says you've doomed us all, he means the universe, everything, everybody, not just his race. You know what I mean? Like, we also have to assume that in the future, where King Immortal is king, there are no Viltrumites around. Because otherwise, they would have been able to stop King Immortal. They would have been able to make the world a better place. Dropkick and Fightmaster say that the world is actually even worse than where... their future is even worse, which is why they went back and got Mark. Where is the current Mark? Why did they go back to get that happy version of Mark? Those are all things we got to keep in mind. So if we know that Dropkick and Fightmaster's future is much worse than even with a crazy King Immortal ruling, we have to think about what the spaghetti monster said, and he said that too many people have died leading up to this. So we're assuming that several people died leading up to King Immortal ruling, which... that is the end of everything. We're assuming that the doomed us all is much later. We're not going to see that. Because we know the future. We know that nothing's going to blow up because we know that King Immortal's still around many years in the future, right?
Do you think doomed us all means everyone will die?
Maybe.
Just because doomed us all, I mean, that could mean
the
like...
end of the universe, something happens kills everyone?
I just meant like King Immortal could still be in that, like that's part of the doomed us all thing. You know?
You're saying that he... do you agree that Doomed Us All could come after issue 54, after that future?
Yeah, I guess anything's possible, but I don't think that it would. I think that we'll find out what it is.
So you're saying everybody, the Doomed Us All will happen, and then they're all still alive?
I think that Earth is like a blip in the galaxy and the universe.
I don't know why I just thought of this, but what if like the spaghetti monster was like Mark from the future? Or something like crazy like
somebody
that.
Somebody
says
say...
when he says like you've doomed us all, maybe he's talking about like Mark's family.
Somebody said it could be Terra unlocking her full powers or something like that. Something crazy. Somebody did say that.
Oh, that would be pretty interesting.
Who said that?
But
anyways,
why would she not want to be existing?
I know. Yeah. Somebody said on Twitter, I forgot. But anyways, back to...
that's a good point.
Yeah. Back to Tommy's... what he was saying, though. In that future, the spaghetti monster wanted Mark to stay... in Reboot, because Nolan would have possibly been able to help shut down Thrag sooner because he didn't go bad. None of that would have happened. Battle Beast wouldn't have died because he would never faced off with Thrag, most likely. Like, they would have gotten the upper hand. These are all assumptions. Now, think of it this way. Battle Beast would have gotten the upper hand. But because Nolan is dead, because Battle Beast is dead, Tommy is saying that the Prophecy, the new Battle Beast, might want revenge on all the Viltrumites for killing Battle Beast.
And for taking over their planet.
Yeah.
Their whole planet.
Yeah. So now we've got Mark, who, get this now, Tommy's saying maybe Eve dies. She's the last straw. She's another one that's going to die. Maybe Eve dies. Mark, because of that, is selfish. Abandons Earth with his kids. The new Battle Beast comes... wipes out most of the Viltrumites or whoever. That's why there's none left when King Immortal is king. You know, that's why they couldn't go back to... Dropkick and Fightmaster couldn't go back to get Mark. They had to go back to a time when he was happy, when he was with Eve. I don't know. It was all very interesting theories.
2 issues left.
And that's what Tommy said. And that's what he said. Like, it's a lot to fit into 2 issues, though. But it was very interesting. And I thought that was way more than we thought through about what it could have meant and all that. And I don't know.
Okay, how many issues was Mark stuck in the other dimension with Mohawk Mark? How many issues was that?
I mean, it was like 1 issue.
Yeah, so, I mean, they could...
Oh, you mean when he went to the dimension where Robot stranded him?
Yes.
That was 2, maybe 3, 2.5.
So I think that if they do supersized issues, I mean, we know the last one's gigantic. They could potentially.
I mean, that would explain why Mark's pissed at looking on the cover.
That would have to be. Now
if Eve dies and he leaves Earth and abandons all the Viltrumites, and leaves Earth open to be, weakened.
Now that I think about it, we keep saying, "What's the conflict?" The spaghetti monster would have to be the conflict, or the prophecy would have to be whatever the conflict is.
Because we keep thinking this new battle beast would be a good guy. What if he is bad? What if he wants to take out Viltrumites?
I still think it's a baby.
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's maybe a child or like a teenager, but it's
still gonna be powerful.
I thought it would have been badass if it was his kid.
I know, with Russia.
That would have been cool.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, pretty interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next up, again, thank you, Tommy. He wrote in via email. And if you want, he's on Twitter. He is at TheMadKing28, which is a very appropriate Twitter handle based on his email.
That is.
Next up, we've got a message from, a few. This is from Bo. You might remember Bo. Was he our first fan spotlight?
No.
I think he might have been.
No, he wasn't.
No, our first was, technically Mike Barrett, but even though it wasn't called.
But he had his own
Fan
episode.
House, I
think it was.
Bo was like our third or fourth one.
And then the one after that, no, it definitely wasn't Bo.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, Bo was one of our fan spotlights early on. He does the Invincible figures.
Figures, yeah. He definitely wasn't the second one.
Okay. He wrote to us on Twitter with a few different ones. I'm going to kick this off with a fun one. Would you guys rather fight one horse-sized chicken or 100 chicken-sized horses? I'm going to add something to this. You have to fight it, and you are in a field with no weapons.
So bare hands.
Which means because the first thing I think of is obviously the small horses, so I could just climb a tree. I mean, they can't climb up there. I mean, whatever.
Okay.
I can get away from them. But if you're in a field and you have to fight,
there's no running away.
Yeah, there's no running away.
You're
you have
surrounded.
to fight. You have to fight it.
TJ.
So,
it's a horse-sized chicken.
Or 100 chicken-sized horses. So a bunch of little horses or one big chicken. Think of a chocobo, Bill. Would you rather fight a chocobo or a ton of little horses?
Oh, that's a good...
Right?
That is a horse-sized chicken.
It is.
I would rather do the small ones. I just kick these motherfuckers. It pecks you one time as a big chicken.
Exactly,
You're fucking toast.
I feel like it would have to be. I mean, could you get your arms around the neck, pull it down,
weapons?
gouge its eyes?
Yeah, but okay, so a chicken-sized horse.
I mean,
would be like a foot long.
I think you have to assume the hooves of a chicken-sized horse.
Hooves is a fun word.
It is. Hooves.
I think it's both.
Can you say hooves or hooves?
I think that's like some people say hooves, some people say hooves.
Huh.
I don't like hooves. Ugh.
Interesting.
I don't even like saying hooves.
That's like stup and stoop.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Anyways, I think those would be like paintballs, but by one of them, like pounding on your leg or maybe getting up to your.
Would 100 chicken-sized horses fit into this room? Like, I need to know the scale of 100.
I mean,
things.
it would be a lot. Like probably enough so that they could World War Z you.
What the fuck could a horse do? Like a horse can't even peck at you.
What?
It's a chicken-sized horse.
A horse can kick you one time and murder you. First of all, a regular size.
Think of a video game. 100 chicken-sized horses is like something you're like walking through and you just like shoot at the ground. I know you don't have like fucking. But it's no big. I know you don't have guns, but it's a no big deal. A fucking horse-sized chicken is a boss fight. That's a fucking. You're like. Flipping around and shit and like checking your arsenal for that shit.
Do I have a ropes caster?
No.
Okay.
I am playing devil's advocate here, TJ, because I agree with you. But picture a small dog. Picture a small dog that is really strong and has bricks on its feet. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of those, 100 of those.
I think if you were to get trampled. I was gonna say stampled.
Stampeded?
By 100 little horses, that would suck. But I think you're right. If you get hit one time, like you could get hit a bunch of times from those little horses before you die. But like one.
But 100 of them, you gotta take out 100 of them. How are you gonna kill them?
Just
you step on them.
Yeah, just start stomping around.
But 100 times, your foot's gonna be so tired.
I reach down, grab each one by the neck, and start fucking cracking necks.
Okay, but you gotta think that a horse is much more lean than a chicken. A chicken is like a scrawny little thing.
I can pick up a chicken-sized horse and crack that motherfucker's neck.
That would
I
be
will
that
rip
would be
each
like
leg off.
that would
one
be
by
like
one.
picking up like a
Slowly.
Dots hound or whatever or a
Dotson?
like a,
what the fuck
like
are
a
you
wiener
talking
dog
about?
like a wiener
A
dog.
Dotson.
Yeah, with longer legs. Imagine
A
Dotson-
Dots hound.
Imagine one of those with longer legs.
Yeah.
Hooves.
I agree, Bill. It would be
rocks
tough.
on its feet.
I think I would still take the small one, the small ones, but it would be really tough.
They both would suck.
Yeah, they
but
would.
I would also take the 100 things.
Okay. Bo also asked, since you guys seem to be big gamers, what's your opinions on the Switch? I've been thinking about picking one up since I can't sit down and play a game for three or so hours at a time.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I'm not a big Nintendo fan, except when it comes to the amazing N64. It's still my favorite system of all time. If I were to have the Switch, I would be playing the shit out of Mario because it looks like Mario 64. It looks awesome and it looks like a lot of fun. Other than that, I don't really have any interest in any other Nintendo Switch games that are currently out. I know Zelda was like huge, but I've never played a Zelda game. Maybe if I had, I would be more into it. But yeah.
My opinion, I've played Matt's a little bit because Matt, our friend Matt Black, has.
You guys
has
continue
one.
talking. I'm gonna go urinate.
Go for
Okay,
it.
sweet. Ooh, drink in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to go first, Bill?
Oh
You
yeah,
played Matt's.
I was gonna I want one really badly.
Me too.
Really badly because I think that it fulfills what the Vita, what we wanted it to be.
And
What
the
we
Vita
wanted
is
it to-
awesome.
The Vita's fucking awesome. I still
Yeah.
play my Vita.
But yes, there's
Yeah.
full-fledged games.
Not
Zelda and Mario are both 10 out of 10s.
more
You know what
important. More importantly, the third party support that Nintendo is now getting. Like Skyrim,
I've never
fucking
played,
Skyrim.
I've never
is-
played Skyrim.
Oh,
I've never
my
played
God.
it. That would be pretty cool to have on a handheld, though.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Imagine sitting in a tent or camping or something like that, and
Yeah.
or bring it back to the tub.
yep. Planes, vacations, traveling at all,
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
But no, I think it'd be really cool. I'd like one. I'd recommend it.
I think the price point's
And
really good
especially-
too. Isn't it like
especially, like-
$300, $350?
I think it's 300.
Yeah.
Not sure. Especially because, like you're saying, Bo, you can't play for several hours at a time. That'd probably be pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's a wise investment. So
Yep.
my opinion is get it.
Yeah. Next up, Bo wants to know, what about sports? I know TJ said he's a Dolphins fan. I'm sorry. But
Wow.
do you guys keep up with anything else? Who are your teams? So Bill and I will go first because it'll be very quick. Bill, you go first.
What is a sport?
I follow sports casually.
The fact that you call it the sports
I
should
follow
tell you
the
something.
sports. Did I say the sports? Yeah. I'm,
follow the sports casually.
No, I mean, I follow whether or not Buffalo Bills are winning, whether or not the Sabres are doing well. I go to 1 or 2 Sabres games a year. I like watching hockey live. I'll watch half of a football game every now and then. It's interesting when it's a good game. Otherwise, I don't really follow anything. TJ, take it away.
I only watch NFL. That's the only thing I've ever been able to really get into. But I'm like really fucking into it. Like a lot. I'm in 3 fantasy football leagues. I am a Miami fan.
What's that wire thing that you talk about? Or that
The
line?
waiver wire?
Waiver wire. Okay.
Yeah, it's whether or not a player is
Available to
available
pick up.
to pick up off of the wire.
waiver wire.
Yes, because they'll fall.
Right.
But yeah, I've always been a Miami fan since I was a kid, even though I'm from Buffalo. It's a whole story. But
I was forced to play like
you play any?
little league baseball.
So did I.
I played
I was.
football in high
What
school.
was your what team were you? I was on the Red Sox and then I was on the Orioles.
I was, oh shit, I think I was White Sox.
Oh, dude, we would have
Oh,
been like
shit.
opposing.
I don't even know if those are opposing.
I hated it. I would like sit outside and wait for the thunder clouds to come. I'm like, oh no,
Really?
you can't go because
I
it's
remember-
gonna be raining.
Wildcats.
I remember once when I was in the outfield, a pop fly happened, and I was talking to my friend in the outfield, and it landed in my glove, and everybody cheered.
No, it didn't.
Yes,
No,
it
it
was
didn't.
like a movie.
The closest thing to that happening was a pop fly came towards me and it was an easy catch and I missed it somehow.
And then finally, Bo said, also curious about y'all's poll lists. How many books do you guys pick up a month? No matter how hard I try, mine seems to stay around the 25 book mark.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's a little much.
That's a lot.
I think you and I both, Ryan.
At one point?
At one point would easily do 25.
Yeah. When I was reading
but it
more,
got a little out of hand.
Yeah,
and
when
we're
I was
like,
reading
fuck.
more Marvel stuff, I was probably getting close to that.
Yeah. I'm reading Batman, which is awesome right now.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
I'm reading Batman Metal or Metal, DC Metal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading White Knight, which we'll talk about.
I mean, you're probably at least easy in the 10, 15.
Is White Knight Batman White Knight, or is it just White Knight?
It's Batman. It's Batman White Knight. Also, a Metal spin-off came out called Batman Lost, which is pretty good.
You pick up a lot of DC tie-ins and everything too.
I pick up a lot of Batman.
Yeah.
Anything if it's DC related, I mean, I don't read anything that's DC that doesn't have Batman in it.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we're all reading Saga.
Yeah.
We're all
I was gonna
reading
say Invincible, Walking
Invincible,
Dead,
obviously.
Saga. I still pick up Extremity because that's one of my favorite things out right now. Daniel Warren Johnson is ridiculous. And then White Knight. Right now, that's pretty much it. Paper Girls. I'm getting a couple things digitally. Usually, after a few months go by, I'll go on, grab a couple things I've been reading
like a
digitally.
trade or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the one I always talk about every time is Descender that I want you guys
Which
to
I
read so
keep
bad.
thinking was one trade and came
It's
out a long
Astro
time
Boy,
ago.
right?
No, they're on like no.
We keep
No.
having the same.
They're
I
on
will never learn.
issue 27, which isn't that bad. They're just now coming out with their first hardcover. Just got like
Cool.
released. It looks awesome. I want it.
We'll get it now.
I'm
I'll
gonna
borrow
get
it.
I think
fuck
at the
out of it.
most, I was reading Batman,
Walking Dead, Invincible.
Batman, Robin, Walking Dead,
Walking Dead.
Invincible.
Yeah.
There was Azrael, Batman Beyond. This was like when I was
Yeah.
going to like.
And when they came out with like not
it was
Rebirth,
Death of Batman. It was Death of Batman one.
not
one.
Rebirth. What was it? When they did the reboot of everything.
52, the new
New
52.
The new 52.
Yeah.
Holy shit! That
Yeah.
was the time where
You
I
were
was
getting
like
so much.
outrageous amount of comics.
Man, during Civil War, I was getting a ton because I got every single
Oh,
time.
you did. You got a ton. I can't imagine.
I
was
still
only
have
reading
2
Civil
boxes
War,
of comics from
reading
that.
The New Frontier,
25?
Spider-Man.
Could you imagine reading 25
A
comics?
month? I can see that a month. That's not too
Oh,
bad.
a month?
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
I
a
guess
week
that. Okay.
He probably reads like 7 issues a week.
or so.
That's a
That's
lot.
still a lot.
I don't
Right.
have the time to fucking read
Right, no, I'm
like.
saying.
That's a big thing is time and money, but
Yeah.
it's, we do what we can. Which is why certain
I
comics
let
I
mine
wait till
build a
trades.
little bit.
Yeah. That's what I did with Paper Girls. I read that by the trade now.
But Batman is so
And
good
that's
right
actually
now,
what I'm doing with Walking Dead. I'm exactly 6 issues behind Walking Dead, which means I'm excited. I'm going to read it. It'll be like reading a trade.
I think we both left off on the same thing.
Yeah, the big thing that
That's
happened.
the last thing that I
six
read.
It's now been exactly 6, so we can
If
read
you
a
guys
trade.
are 6 behind, I'm probably like 10.
Yeah.
10 or 12 behind.
Thanks again, Bo. Next up, and this ties in very well, Mike Barrett. He wrote in via email. Remember, you can email. Wow. Only had one beer.
One
You
beer.
can email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Mike Barrett says, are you reading Batman White Knight by Sean Murphy? How much do you love it? If you could... all right, that was the first thing, and then I'm going to go into a second thing.
Can you give us a synopsis of White Knight? Can
Bill, as soon as we're done recording, I'm giving you Batman White Knight 1 and
It
2.
is
I don't want to tell you too much.
genius.
It is
I want
so-
to talk about
I know.
like
the
wanna talk-
Harley Quinn thing is brilliant.
The Harley Quinn is fucking brilliant, and
I don't wanna say more than that.
So is the death of Jason Todd. Fucking
Oh, thank you.
awesome idea.
It's so good.
Thank you.
It's just
No,
them
it's-
doing a flashback of what you already know.
no,
About
it's
him killing
the way
Jason
they've
Todd.
done this, the way Batman is portrayed, the way Gotham is portrayed. Like it's Bill. It's so good. You're gonna love it.
Is this? Don't tell me anything.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
no.
Okay, I don't want to know.
So yes, Mike, we're reading it. It is amazing. Next issue is the 3rd issue comes out next week. I'm
Yep.
excited. Mike Barrett also said, if you can own one single original art page from Invincible, what would it be and why?
Interesting that he would be the one to ask this question
Because he has it.
because he's the one that gives us half of ours or
yeah.
hooks us up with
Yeah,
the people
that's true.
that give it to us. Mine was always the death of Rexplode,
Mm-hmm.
which Mike Barrett, you the real Invincible, got me that one. So I'm happy with that one. Now that I have that, I didn't really think about this too much. I probably should have put more thought into it. But the first thing that comes to mind is I love the splash page, the double-sided splash page in Invincible War of all the different Invincibles standing
Oh
over
my God, yes.
over different cities.
You know, Liz said something about that when
That was one of
the
hers.
first she saw that, she was like, "I would think this would be cool to own,
Mm-hmm.
like this, this page."
Man,
There's so many.
there's
though,
so
like-
many. The first thing I go to is obviously Conquest.
That's what I would say too. Yeah.
I love Mike Barrett's page of them flying at each
Yeah.
other. That's an amazing page. And then I think Powerplex, which I have a good Powerplex that I love. Other than that, I think of The Feeling Was Mutual or the original Fight. And then just the two page splashes, like him and his dad fighting together, maybe towards the end when they're fighting Thrag. I don't know. There's a lot.
I think that it would be really special to own a page of Battle Beast and Thrag fighting. Like maybe the one where his sword, where he's like that, or when they're charging
I
at
love
each
when
other.
he's holding
and
the two swords out.
Yeah, like
I own-
see, wouldn't you like just look at it for a long time?
I own the Death of Rexplode. Ryan owns a splash page of Powerplex. I think you should venture for a Battle Beast page.
Yeah, I agree. I would spend money on that.
Mike Barrett also asks, what about cover? What cover would you guys want? Can you picture a cover that you'd want if you can own the original art for a cover? TJ?
So, the cover that I would want to own, that's a different question as to what my favorite cover is. My favorite cover is 63. I like the simplicity
bloodied one?
of it.
No,
it is. It's the simplicity of it's just Invincible. It's Conquest. It's just Invincible though, like kneeling down, looking up, completely bloody as shit.
Oh, holding his arm.
Yeah, I love that one. But I mean, I don't know if I guess with that. But can I say the obvious fucking answer?
11?
1.
Oh, yeah.
It's so
I guess.
iconic.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
how many times have been redone?
Yes, 1
It's obvious,
and 144. 1 and 144 would be amazing. Obviously,
but no,
what
one-
page do you want? The last page?
Yeah, I know, but but number 1, the page 1, that's been redone so many times.
No,
like,
you're right.
144 hasn't been redone
Yes,
a
but that is
billion
an obvious
times.
one.
You know what
I also think 11 would be amazing.
11 would be awesome.
Which
though.
was 11?
The bloody hand of Omni-Man.
Oh,
111.
110.
Or 110, I'm sorry.
the
Yeah,
two hands.
110. 64, Adam Eve's
Adam
hand.
Eve's hand. I would rather that than the bloodied mark that you would get, for a Conquest. If I had to pick a Conquest one, it would be Eve's hand.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta give a shout out to the Bulletproof cover, and it's so weird. I know it's weird, but I love that cover.
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Him looking
Him
at
in the mirror.
which is for sale right now. I just can't spend the kind of money, but it's him looking at the blood stain on the wall and him seeing his original costume.
Yep.
Because it's so that's exactly what that
Telling.
character is.
Yeah.
It's all about his split, mind over him and his twin. Like the fact that he chooses to stay two-faced. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, Mike. Moving on, we've got
Bill, did you answer the question?
I don't know if I have one.
Oh, a cover?
Yeah, I don't know. I like my instinct is honestly I was gonna say the one where he's on his knees holding his broken arm. Because I remember
That's my
seeing
favorite.
yeah,
Or
I remember
Viltrumite
seeing that
War?
stuff. No, it was Conquest.
That was Conquest. It was
No. I'm saying, or the Viltrumite War cover,
Oh yeah, that one's
or
nuts.
Invincible War cover.
Yeah, the ones that pan
Oh
out.
yeah. I don't know. Or Battle Beast
Oh, the one of him charging.
of him charging, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dinosaurus, which is right after Conquest?
Yeah.
No, it's
It's
right after
shortly
Invincible War. Because it went Conquest. Did it go?
Yeah, it was after
It was after
Viltrumite War,
you're
wasn't
right,
it?
it was after
Yeah.
Viltrumite War.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Next up, we've got Ben from the Nerds Chatting podcast.
Oi!
Ben!
Ben,
Hey, Ben!
Oi, over. Sound like you're from London.
He wrote to us via Twitter. He said he's got 2 questions. First off, what format will your show take when Invincible ends in 2018? Please don't say you're going to stop.
I hate this question.
Maybe.
This is a tough question.
Talk about it a lot and don't really get anywhere.
I don't think we as a group talk about it a lot, but we don't talk about it on the podcast.
Right.
I think that it is a possibility that if we run out of ideas, why would you guys want to listen to content that's just like
Right now, like the last new issue episode will not be our last episode.
we're going to continue after
it.
that.
How we're going to continue, we're still discussing it.
Yeah, we have a couple ideas, and we're struggling with whether or not the Invincible podcast can continue without being primarily Invincible related. Whether or not we do episodes that have nothing to do with Invincible, or whether we release them fewer than bi-weekly. I mean, we're playing with all ideas and trying to talk it out and see what we like. But we'll see. In the end, we don't want to release episodes that are just
Filler,
pointless. There's
if there's something to
we
talk
want
about.
things to be we want a podcast to be worthwhile.
Yep.
So
you will have more information for you soon.
yeah,
I would say for the time being, since we live in a society that is like so living in the now, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're okay. I mean? We still got a couple months.
Yeah, we've got plenty of content. We've got a bunch that's coming out. Mm-hmm. Who did that?
What is that, TJ?
TJ showed us a picture on Instagram of it looks like a photorealistic Freddie Mercury with Battle Beast around his neck. It's pretty cool.
Then Ben also says, do you guys think that Wolfman and the Wolf Corps, Guardians of the Globe, and even Invincible will eventually show up as a show on a streaming service?
No, I don't. I don't think that they will unless...
Once Invincible comes out?
Unless the hype for the movie starts to take place.
I think it all depends on the movie.
Yes.
I think that if the movie does really, really good, one of two things will happen. We'll either get shows that have nothing to do with the movie, or we get shows that are in the same universe as the movie, which has never really been done successfully. I mean, Marvel's kind of doing it, but that's what they wanted to do with the Dark Tower movies. Like, it's just it's very difficult for movies to tie into TV shows and them to work together and everything like that.
I think whatever it is would have to be animated.
I'd love it.
If they do.
We said the same thing about the movie.
Yeah, like a Wolf Corp or anything like that. But Hulu and Netflix and even Amazon and HBO and like those shows, they're taking a lot of risks now, and they're investing a lot of money in original content.
And we've talked about it before. We haven't really gotten to an age of mature R-rated cartoon, like animated, being widely accepted.
Right.
And I think that'd be awesome if that happened.
You've already got Seth Rogen. He's got something on Hulu. Mm-hmm. He's got Future Man.
Yeah.
Right? So who's to say that... And again, I agree that it depends on how Invincible does in theaters and how much people start talking about it and like it and want more. I think that, if anything, it will be on Hulu. Because, I mean, if he has a relationship with him already...
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Again, I think it all depends on the movie. Ben, thanks for writing in. And again, go check out the Nerds Chatting podcast. They also do their Daily Invincible cover on Twitter. # Daily Invincible cover.
Yeah, and they have English accents.
They do.
Yeah, so which is really fun to listen to.
What else we got here?
At Truthful Nerd.
Yeah.
Said, I want to hear your thoughts on the comics industry as a whole. I'm talking Marvel and DC.
Well, TJ, you
DC.
read a lot of DC. Bill, you're a little bit more DC, but don't read as much anymore. Mm-hmm. TJ, you still read a good amount of Batman. I used to read a ton of Marvel, and don't really read that much Marvel anymore. Right now, my take on it is it kind of burned me out. It got a little exhausting keeping up with everything, and I still love standalone things. When it comes to, like, I loved...
Kick-Ass?
Well, no, Marvel and DC.
Oh, like arcs?
I loved, more recently, American Alien. I loved, was it Tom King? His Vision arc. I mean, like, I like things when they're a little bit more standalone. If you go back a little bit further, I loved Whedon's Astonishing X-Men, even though I know that kind of tied in and kept going in some places. But I like when things are a little bit more standalone. They can tell a full story. Batman Hush.
Yeah. Batman Hush is the reason why I'm an adult
Batman fan. Like, Court of Owls, I read that and enjoyed it. But I mean, like, there's more, and it's like I didn't read that yet, and it's like
Court of Owls feels like a standalone. You can watch. I mean, the Batman story arcs mostly could all be considered standalone.
Mm-hmm. I just think about it, and the more I talk to somebody that knows, or they tell me about a current event that's going on, the more it gets really confusing. Like, honestly, if I gave you 2 minutes to explain what's going on in Metal, I would be so lost.
Metal's a little... Yeah, Metal is like that.
But that's what I mean. I feel like both are doing that right now. I mean, and both Marvel and DC have been doing that for a while.
That's all that they do. That's why I don't care.
And it's exhausting. But Bill, if I said this... there's this incredible Daredevil comic that it's standalone. You don't have to worry about what he's doing. Like, that is more exciting to me, and it's a writer with a vision and a story to tell and an artist that, like, they're working together. Like, that's what I want. There have been a few times where I'll pick up a X-Men comic and be like, you know what, I'm going to try getting into this again. But then the artist changes, and then the writer changes, and then I get a little bit
So my opinion about this
interested.
actually goes in with the next question, so I'm just going to read, and it goes in with what you're currently saying.
Yep.
Bus Crisis on Twitter says, Thoughts on reboots? DC had a major one in 2011. Invincible constantly jokes about them. What's your take? So my opinion about the comic book industry as a whole is I hate the reboots, but at the same time, your gripe with the comic book industry is that there's no place to jump on.
Exactly.
Ever. That's why they do reboots.
Yes.
But as an avid reader, I hate the reboots.
But think about this.
There's too much.
Think about this. I was considering jumping on during New
Every 2 years there's a reboot.
I was considering jumping on during New 52. But now anytime I hear about people talking about New 52, they're like, oh, Superman sucked. But now it's not that Superman. The Superman from before New 52 came back.
Yeah, why didn't you jump on Rebirth?
But that's what I mean. But
there's
now
always a moment.
There's always one when I could, but then they still connect. Like, it's not like everything beforehand didn't happen.
They do, but it's basically saying this is a perfect jumping on point. Because they explain everything and...
How do you guys feel about when Marvel had the Ultimate Universe? That I think
I loved it. I own every single issue of Ultimate X-Men.
And Ultimate Spider-Man. And like the Ultimates, I think
that was fun.
I think it was a great idea, and I think that
the writers changed, the artists changed. It wasn't as
but it was still
Kirkman actually wrote Ultimate X-Men,
but it was still
a story.
But it was still
like an alternate, like what if?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But I love those kind of stuff,
and I like that too, which is why I think that the reboot in the comic book industry is important.
Yeah,
because it does get just so... It's like they reach a point where they're like, we don't even know what the fuck is happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, all these... we start over. Like,
I don't know how much longer that can keep going on, because like they've been doing it so frequently lately. I don't know. Can they keep doing it? Like,
who knows?
In another 2 years, are they going to keep doing that?
For researching things for this podcast, I think it was about a year ago when they announced that Invincible was ending, I went online and I found... where Invincible ranked in sales among other comic books. And all of the top-rated ones for that month were Harley Quinn, number 1, Batman, number 1. It was all number 1s. So I think it's a business strategy. So, yeah, I think they're going to keep doing it. Yeah. I do.
Well, for now, because it's what's working right now. 25 years ago, it didn't work. Obviously, they kept everything canon and everything.
Did they know that, though? Did they know that? Maybe they just didn't know. Maybe it would have worked.
Are you, like... Even in movies and other media, everything is a reboot. Like, everything is... If something doesn't work, they're not afraid to just be like, fuck it, scrap it, start again.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there was so much, like... Not animosity, but people were afraid to do that because maybe it made a bad name for them. Like, we can't recast Batman. We can't redo Batman. We can't... And they... So, who knows in 10 years and 5 years, with the way that, like, you know, society is changing constantly, who knows what the comic book industry is going to be like. And, hopefully they cut the fat and they just have like Batman, Superman, as opposed to all these other Justice League.
But at the same time, I wouldn't want that because what if you don't like that current writer? What if you don't like that current artist? You don't have anything else to go on. But in the meantime, I love the fact that I can go pick up White Knight, you know, a Batman story that's self-contained, you know, or Tom King's Vision, something that's somewhat self-contained that, you know, give a writer a story to tell, a beginning and an end, tell that story, and if it needs to connect in some ways, that's great, but it doesn't have to. Like, look at the MCU. I mean, you can go see any of those movies, and you'll get a little bit more if you read everything else, but, you know, it's standalone in a sense.
Can you watch Thor 1, 2, and 3 without seeing any other Marvel movie?
Every single one of those movies has a beginning, middle, and end that tells a story.
Right, but I can go from Thor 2 ending to Thor 3 or Thor Ragnarok beginning.
You can watch Thor 2 without watching Thor 1. Absolutely.
That is true.
Right, but can you watch 2 without watching Ragnarok?
Can you watch...
2 ends with Loki like on the throne with his father.
Yeah,
and, you know
you can watch 3.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he's saying that you don't have to watch like the Avenger movies to get...
That's what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying.
If I have never seen a Marvel movie and someone put down Thor 1, 2, and 3 in front of me, Captain America 1, 2, and 3 in front of me.
I think they all still.
You think I can watch Captain America 2 and then go to Civil War and not be confused at all? Who the fuck are all these people? I don't know any of these people. I don't know.
I've always thought, and I've said it many times on this podcast, that the reason why I like Invincible, and I think that Invincible is almost like a breath, like you can breathe, is because you don't have to worry about all these other things that are happening.
Yeah.
You know, and that's important to me. So I agree. I like the one shot. So if White Knight is just like an isolated story that's like a one-off kind of thing, I would probably enjoy that because I fucking.
That's what it is. It's not canon.
Dude, I remember when I was reading Batman Rest in Peace, and then all of a sudden he just started talking about Batman Zenarar or whatever. Do you remember that? When he
Zenarar, yeah.
Yeah, when he went crazy and Batmite was there, and then other things happened, and then all of a sudden Batman was normal with the Justice League on Apocalypse. What the fuck is happening?
Peace wasn't good.
I was listening to Nerds Chatting recently. They were talking about all of that, and man, props to anybody that follows and understands. And it's like, I wish I had the time and money to fully get into Marvel Comics or DC Comics and be able to get it. But right now, I'm just a little bit too much of a casual comic book reader. This is what it comes down to, I guess.
Yeah, I want something simpler that you don't have to. I don't want to say invest like a lot of brain power in, but I don't want to have to be like, go on Wikipedia and be like, what the fuck is he talking about right now? You know, I don't want that.
TJ. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah, I'll talk about, we got Devin Barry's email. Devin Barry and I are like best friends. Like, I consider him
your best friend?
The best friend.
He was also on one of our fan spotlights. So was Ben from Nerds Chatting, along with Nate.
Ben.
Yeah. Devin Barry says, "Hey guys, Devin here. So you guys have brought up Avatar: The Last Airbender a lot on the podcast, and coincidentally, that's one of my favorite pieces of fiction of all time."
It's not fiction. It's real.
I'd love to hear you talk about that. To throw my 2 cents in about that topic, I'll talk about my favorite part of Avatar. Zuko is one of the greatest characters ever written. Seriously, I've never been the one who likes edgy, dark, conflicted characters, but Zuko is the exception. His origin is great, his development is great, and all around he's just a great character. He wouldn't be as good of a character if it wasn't for Iroh, though.
Oh, God, I want to watch.
The relationship between them is so sincere and original. There's none like it in all of fiction. We'll stop there, and we'll get to the next part of his email. Can I tell my story of my favorite part of Avatar: Last Airbender?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
you have my permission.
So, when I watched Avatar: Last Airbender, me and Bill kind of binge
It was something
watched.
that our whole group of friends watched together, like around the same time. Like we were all
Right.
Like,
So
binging.
Bill and I were binge watching it at his house, or at his apartment at the time, and the bunny episode is my favorite episode and is the funniest episode, where the episode starts out, they go to this town and there's this woman that reads the clouds, and anytime she sees a bunny in the clouds, it's like a huge omen, and everybody fears it, and the Avatar and his friends discover that the dam is about to break and they're about to get flooded, and I believe that's what happened. And they're trying to warn everybody, but they're like, "Oh no, she didn't see anything in the clouds. We're safe. So Avatar goes up into the clouds, and he's starting to form something, and you think it's gonna be a bunny, and it's a fucking skull. I don't remember ever laughing. Do you remember? I was hurting. We kept trying to replay it, and I couldn't multiple times because we would start playing it, and I would think about it again, and I've never laughed so hard in my life. That is my favorite episode, and that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in media.
Yeah.
Altogether.
The Last Airbender for me,
But Zuko, I agree.
it's to me it's like Breaking Bad. It is the best animated thing I've ever seen, and it's. We didn't watch it live. Like
how we were introduced to.
We were at Comic Book Cafe. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were at Comic Book Cafe, which is this pizzeria that's close by to us, and it's all comic book themed. It's very, very cool. And it was on, and it was the second to last episode. We didn't know.
We didn't know it was the finale.
It was the second to last episode. It was the finale live happening on TV, and we just like slowly started watching it until we were all like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, it looked awesome.
Yeah, it looked amazing. It was when he like went up against the thing and then had rocks go around him and stuff like that. So, The Last Airbender is the most creative when you're thinking about this person. Like the movie is terrible.
Oh yeah.
Just all the different things. There's a part at the end where. Oh my God! What's her Azura, her sister? Azula, and what's the girl's name?
Katara.
Yeah, I don't know why I was having a brain fart.
No, it's been a while.
Where they're fighting and
read the comic.
She goes to throw.
Devin Barry, oddly enough, got me into the comics.
She goes to throw lightning at her, and she like lifts water up through the grate and then freezes it and then thaws the water around herself, Katara, so she can get out while keeping Azula frozen. That shit is genius.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
It's so smart. And the character development from the first season to the end, it's brilliant. The art design, the world
fight
building.
choreography.
The choreography.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really well-made
It's emotional. It's
series.
funny. It's so funny.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
The
Just-
characters are awesome.
It being a cartoon on Nickelodeon, like when you think Avatar, it does it a disservice. It just sounds stupid. It
Yeah.
sounds like a kid's cartoon, but
Yeah.
this shit, kids don't get it. Like they don't
It's
get
really-
it.
it's
The thing
really
about it, what turned me off was the fact that it's like American anime. I've never been into anime. I'm still not into anime. I can't get into it. So I was completely turned off by it until I started watching it. So give it a chance, even if you're not into anime.
Their attention to detail, like there will never be a thing forgotten in this show. Like there are characters that
Yeah.
come back seasons
Yeah.
later.
Little things
There are little
big things later.
Yeah, like there are little things that happen. Like Aang gets shot with lightning in his back, and it exits his toe. And through the rest of the season, he has a scar on his big toe because he walks around barefoot. Do you remember
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Do you remember seeing that?
Huh.
To watch it again, dude. It's every
I need to
single
rewatch
shot.
it. I need to rewatch
Oh,
it.
so good.
But yeah, they release like 3 books at a time for stories for comics, and I just finished the first book and it was awesome. And the next one is Zuko's mother, and I can't wait to read that.
I need to rewatch. And for what it's worth, Legend of Korra was very good.
It was so good.
It was very good.
Well,
I'm
Yeah.
actually rewatching Airbender slowly because I'm reading the comic, and I find myself like I'll never say that Korra is better than Last Airbender. We all know Last Airbender is definitely the better of the two, but I find myself like anticipating getting to Korra to rewatch it because I think I've only seen them once on live TV.
Yeah. All right. What else you definitely said?
Second part. But anyways, next topic is for Bill. Bill, talk about Metal Gear. It's the best. What's your favorite game in the series? What is your least favorite? Who's your favorite character? Why all of those things? Also, my favorite character is Big Boss, and the best game in the series is unquestionably Metal Gear Solid 3. Hope this gets some good conversations flowing. Thanks. So
And everybody,
Ryan and
like,
I,
so many people wrote love, like, but love Devin. That's
Love
so
Devin.
fun. I fucking
Yeah.
love that we did
Ryan
that.
and I have not. I think you've played one of them, right?
I played a bunch.
I haven't played any.
So TJ hasn't played any. I'll go and then Bill goes. What?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
It's just interesting that you
Yeah.
go first. Go ahead.
Yeah. I remember seeing Metal Gear Solid being played. That was a PlayStation 1 game, right?
Yeah.
I remember a friend playing that, me being really intrigued by it. And for some reason, and I did play, I think, all of it. And it might have been at his house, and like we took turns playing kind of thing. So I don't even know if I did the whole thing myself. But a few things that distinctly stick out. The hallway scene, I think it was like Sniper Wolf or something like that, and someone gets shot. Meryl gets shot. And you're
and is
like,
baited.
I remember that was incredibly hard and emotional.
You get that far, and then you have to go all the way back
Yeah.
to get a sniper rifle,
Yes.
and then fight her, and Meryl's gone.
The torture scene where you have to tap like square or whatever super fast, and then I remember the beginning of that game. Okay, so I was familiar with it. I knew it, and I was kind of into it. But then I got my own PlayStation 2 later on, and I got Metal Gear Solid 2, and that was one of the first games that I just played a ton of.
Like until 3
So
o'clock in the
much,
morning,
yes.
like being young, yeah.
Getting to the what was it called? The
Big Shell?
yes, getting to Big Shell and everything like that, and
Arsenal. Metal
big
Gear Arsenal?
orange. No, the big orange raft
That's
or
the
whatever.
shell,
they're
yeah.
on. Yeah, the shell.
Big Shell.
It was just so cool. The vampire. I remember it was one of the first games. I distinctly remember Fat Man and like sweating during that boss fight and it being a super intense fight for some reason. I loved the characters of it. I actually liked becoming Raiden in it. Him going crazy. Like it was such a huge game to me. And then nothing. I remember hearing about like Snake Eater or something on GameCube, and then I was like, well, I don't have a GameCube, so I can't play that. And then I got a PS3 and Metal Gear Solid 4 was out, and I played I want to say I played most of that. I don't even know if I think I beat it, but it was mostly cutscenes, I remember, and it just wasn't too much into it, and that was it. And now the new one is, I own it because it was a PlayStation Plus game, and so someday I might play it.
Yeah.
So Bill.
Okay, Devin, you asked what's my favorite game? Metal Gear Solid, without a doubt. Like
first one?
there are so many parts in that my favorite part ever, one of my favorite characters is Sniper Wolf.
Oh yeah.
When you kill her and you go up and you have the conversation and then
I don't
do you
remember any
remember Otacon comes up and is crying because he loved her, he fell in love with her.
I forgot about
Yeah,
all that.
and the wolves are like like in the background, and it's so sad.
Wow.
And the first game had so many like redemption qualities. Like after you beat Raven, like he tells you
He's
a
the
sad
tank
story.
outside?
He's the tank outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. After obviously there's Psycho Mantis and
Oh
having
my
to change
god,
supports.
yeah.
And then there's fighting the Metal Gear, and then there's Gray Fox. Fighting was the only thing I was good at. Do you remember this?
I remember that quote, but I don't remember.
Oh my god,
that
I
part.
will quote it all the time. So my favorite character, one of my favorite characters is Sniper Wolf, and just that whole interaction. Obviously,
Cool.
I like Snake. My least favorite is Snake Eater.
Really, and that's Devin's favorite. People love it. That's one of Greg Miller's favorite games of all time.
I hate it.
People love
I hate
that
it
game.
because that game is the
or is
game
it
that
Peace Walker?
changed
Maybe he loves Peace Walker.
both. That
Is
game,
it the same game?
that game is when it changed from being about Solid Snake.
That is
David-
when I got so confused.
Dude, that's
So
when it gets bad.
I don't understand. There's so many of him.
I know.
There's so many snakes.
Well, no, there's two snakes. Well, technically there's three snakes.
And then there's an arm. I don't know. I'm sorry. It lost me.
The Phantom Pain was good from a gameplay standpoint. The story was trash, which is what I
Really?
want in a Metal Gear game. Metal Gear Solid 4
I hear the
was...
gameplay was amazing.
Yeah,
Phantom
it
Pain.
was. Metal Gear Solid 4 was cool because you play as Snake again, like Solid Snake. And it brings back a lot of characters, but that's where it started to get super off the rails in terms of story. So, I mean, we could talk about Metal Gear for a long time.
No.
But we're gonna have to put a pin in it. But my favorite would be
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
It's a fucking thing.
It's not a thing.
all right. Moving on.
Next up, we've got a few questions from the Earth 919 podcast. They wrote to us on Twitter, and they say, here's a few questions. What was the best comic book related movie of this year, 2017? So we'll stop there. We'll answer this question.
Did you Google what movies came out this year?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2,
Thank God. Okay.
Spider-Man Homecoming, Justice League Ragnarok, and Thor. No, Justice League and Thor Ragnarok.
Okay. So Guardians
there's
2,
more.
Spider-Man.
There's more.
Was there
Thor.
more? Did Wonder Woman come out this year?
Wonder Woman came out in June, so there's
You're right.
Wonder Woman.
Shit.
Lego Batman movie, if you want to count that.
I
Logan came out this year.
Oh my God, you're right.
No, it didn't.
Logan came out in February. Now, it depends on how comic book you were talking, because
I'd say that.
Valerian is
No.
a comic book.
Okay.
It's not-
Kingsman
it's gonna be
2 is based off a comic book.
We didn't care for
Let's-
Valerian. Kingsman 2 is very good, but I don't want to include those.
So let's
Kingsman
let's
2 would be my favorite,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Other
What?
than that,
but we won't count that.
that's crazy to me. But all right.
Really? Let's
Yeah.
talk about it. Let's talk about the other ones then.
Want me to go first?
So can we go through the list again?
I wrote it down quickly, but I think I missed something.
I got-
Guardians 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor 2 Ragnarok, Wonder Woman, Logan, and what?
Fuck. Is this the best year for comic book movies?
What? I was gonna say it's the worst.
Are you serious?
This year
Logan.
sucked. I didn't see Logan.
You still
I
haven't
have
fucking
no
seen
desire
Logan?
to see it.
That's
I heard bad things.
from who? From me? Because I didn't
It was
really
one of you.
like it.
Maybe it was Matt. Might have been
Wow.
Matt.
Matt loved it.
Did he? Oh, it was definitely.
All
I
right,
thought it was
we're
one
gonna
of you guys.
we're gonna try and do like 30 seconds each movie. TJ, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Toward the bottom of Marvel movies, both
TJ
Guardians of
or
the
Bill?
Galaxies.
Maybe my top movie this year for comic book movies.
And I really enjoyed it.
fucking
I don't think
crazy.
it's my favorite
I'm
movie this
thi-
year,
I'm
but
thinking-
I really enjoyed it.
I'm thinking which of these movies I enjoyed the most, I had the most fun at the movie theater, and it would be Guardians 2. Hands down.
The most fun, I think you might be right.
No.
Thor was very fun, but I didn't care for it as much. But it was fun.
Okay.
Spider-Man Homecoming, which TJ still hasn't seen Thor.
I haven't seen Thor. But you guys hated it.
I didn't
And
hate it.
You
You
guys
just-
said nothing good about it. Like nothing. When
No,
you guys
no,
told
no,
me
no.
about it, you were laughing at how bad it was.
No.
You were laughing.
Yeah, probably I was. I probably was.
No, it's worth seeing. You need to see it.
I mean, you have to see it.
I'll see it. I will
Okay.
see it because I see all the Marvel movies.
Did you
even though I
not
don't
like
care for
Spider-Man
them.
Homecoming? I don't remember.
I thought it was just okay.
I feel the same
I
way.
didn't think it was like
That was very
amazing.
good.
Have you seen it again? Have you seen it
No,
twice?
I bought it because it was $9 on
I
Blu-ray.
almost bought it, but I didn't. I didn't feel like standing in line for
The
it.
second time around is way better.
I'm
Really?
sure it is. I loved Michael Keaton, but I just love Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
God, I'd fucking be friends with Michael Keaton.
But like, just a lot of things didn't add up. Like, how do they know that he's? How do they not know that he's Spider-Man when the fucking whole class went to DC, but he's from New York?
No, yeah, whatever.
And he, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I know. It's too
I
bad.
don't know. I thought it was just okay.
And then rounding out Marvel movies, TJ hasn't seen Logan, which is crazy. Logan was amazing.
I thought Logan was boring, but still a well-made movie.
Yeah.
I think that's
Well-made
what
is a
I
great
heard it from
point,
you.
yeah.
When someone tells me a movie
Yeah.
is boring and it's about Wolverine, which I don't care for. That's a movie that like I'm like, oh, I'm bored. I want to watch a movie.
I feel like you'd
Logan
love
is
it because
always
of-
right there.
I feel like you
do
love it because of like
darker-
X-23 and because of like The Road. Like
Yeah.
you like the gritty father
I feel like
parent.
I might like it. I just
Nothing
haven't.
like The Road.
I
No,
just
no,
haven't-
no, but it's
Nothing like
the
The Road.
father figure like kind of story. Like I don't know.
It is a very different tone from
Yeah.
any other superhero
I'm sure
movie.
I would like it. I just don't like Wolverine.
I don't like the X-Men anymore. Can they stop?
They need.
I don't
they
like
need-
X-Men because of Wolverine.
I love
I like
X-Men.
just
I wish
make
they
an
would just
X-Men
fix
movie
them.
with just fix
Just
them.
fix it.
They had him fixed, and then Bryan Singer stuck his dirty paws in it again and fucked it up again. Again.
I thought you were gonna say his dick.
Dirt-
His dirty dick in it.
DC movies, Wonder Woman and Justice League. We haven't talked too much about
yeah,
Justice
Justice
League,
League.
but first, Wonder Woman. TJ, did you like Wonder Woman?
I think I would consider Wonder Woman as my favorite, but it's still not saying much. I thought that Wonder Woman was awesome. I loved it, but it didn't. I thought it was going to be like more than what it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
I still liked it though. I liked it a lot, but there were some slow parts that I was a little bored.
Yeah,
but I did
It felt
enjoy
a
it
lot
very much.
like Captain America 1 to me, where it was like obviously a time period
Better.
piece,
Way better
but
than
it,
that.
yeah, probably
It
a little
was better than Captain America
Yeah,
1.
but it was very good. It was very
Yeah.
good.
I liked
thought
it a
was
lot.
good.
Wonder Woman to me is
That would be my
is-
main one.
It's it
My
might be
favorite.
it might be like Guardians I had more fun at, but Wonder Woman has parts in it like the alleyway scene where she just blocks all those bullets.
Yeah.
Where you're like, fuck,
Or
it's
No Man's
so
Land.
good. And Gal Gadot,
Oh my god.
She is the hottest woman in comic book movies today.
Scarlett
Challenge
Johansson.
me.
Scarlett
Challenge me.
fucking Johansson.
I know I knew you were gonna say that.
I knew.
I knew you were gonna say that, but today I'm saying right now in this very moment, Gal Gadot is hotter than Scarlett Johansson right fucking now.
You're.
Yeah, you know I'm fucking right. You know I'm right.
Anyways, I think Wonder Woman is the biggest surprise. DC
Yeah.
needed it. DC needs to
Yes.
stray away from what made the DCU bad, which was Zack Snyder,
Mm-hmm.
and do more things. Whatever they fucking did with Wonder Woman, it was the best
Yeah.
thing.
I agree.
It was written by someone who was not Zack Snyder. It was directed by someone who was not Zack Snyder. Like,
But so was Suicide Squad.
yeah, but that I feel like that was going to fail no matter what, because all those characters were villains
Yeah,
from DC Comics that you needed to have established first. Like, it was born to fail.
I agree.
You know, Wonder Woman was in my eyes it was really close to perfect.
Which brings us to Justice League.
Which we have a question later on about Justice League and the DC cinematic
You want to
universe.
just bring it up now?
Yeah, they ask other questions too. So Jordan Gilbert.
Let's
asked
cover
us,
it now and then we'll go back.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jordan Gilbert asked us later about the DC movies. So, Bill, I didn't talk to you about Justice League.
Ryan and I saw it together.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So did I.
I actually really enjoyed it. It felt like reading. It felt like me going in. You know, we've already.
Bill, you and I saw it together, and then I saw it again with Ryan.
You know how we talked about how DC Comics are like the state of the comic industry right now. It felt like I walked into a comic book shop, picked up a DC comic,
Written by a
Justice League-
4-year-old,
a Justice League comic, and read it, and I was like, yeah, okay, Steppenwolf, some guy, all right, the Amazonians, yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, I'm not really getting mother boxes and all that kind of shit, but whatever, it's still fun. This is cool. I like these scenes. I like this stuff that's happening right now, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Other than that, it was not a good movie, but I enjoyed watching it.
My opinion was like when we had like Rob Ladinsky on. I think it was the last episode we did. It was literally like me and Bill were like waiting to leave the recording to go watch it, and I said on that podcast that I was going into it expecting to see a Fast and Furious movie, something that you don't really take seriously, and you just want a fun action movie, and that it delivered that for me. I loved the fight scenes. I thought everything with Flash was very funny. Flash vs. Superman, what I thought was hilarious.
I didn't really care for Flash that much.
I didn't like him as an actor, but I liked what it was happening, you know. But I knew
him being unsure of himself.
But the thing is, when they announced his casting, I knew I wasn't gonna like him.
No,
I just didn't like. I
don't
know.
like him as Flash.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So Bill, when you and I saw it, your opinion was I don't know. That's what you said. You're like I don't know. So now that you've sat on it, what do you think?
Okay, so you said something when we walked out where you compared it to the new Ninja Turtle movies.
Yeah.
Where those movies are bad, but they're still really fun to watch. And I find myself, if I have nothing to do, I'll throw on Ninja Turtles and watch that movie. You know what I mean? That being said, I thought that Ben Affleck looked like he was forcibly putting himself.
Being there.
He fucking it was so
awful.
obvious.
It was hard to watch.
It was hard to fucking watch him be my favorite, your favorite fucking superhero. Hard to watch it.
Yeah.
And not only that, but
difficult.
like, what did he do as Batman?
He didn't do anything.
It was awful. He was such a.
He found.
I read, but like he brought the team together. He was the leader.
God.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch the Justice League, the animated movie, that came out not too long ago. Where it was Flashpoint. That movie was fucking awesome. But then, do you remember the Justice League movie that came out before that?
Doom?
It was Doom. No, it wasn't Doom. It was Justice League.
New Frontier?
Maybe that one. Any of them are way better than this one.
Yeah.
But it's just what was the conflict?
I don't care. It was fun to watch.
You don't even know what the conflict was.
It was Steppenwolf coming, and he was going to terraform the Earth to be some hellscape. He needed all 3 boxes to do something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a thrilling movie to watch.
Yeah, I know. But it was visually fun, and I liked watching, all the pretty colors on the screen. I mean, like, I liked seeing I didn't care too much. I mean, Aquaman wasn't as bad as I expected it would be. But I mean...
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I mean...
Man!
Yeah.
What's wrong, TJ?
No, I agree. I agree.
I know.
I'm not defending this movie. I'm saying everything that Ryan is saying.
I think I went in with such low expectations that I was okay with it. I liked Superman at the end. I liked
Superman too.
I
believe in truth.
The best part of the movie was Superman saying, I take it back, I want to die. Like him saying something
Something
funny.
is definitely bleeding.
Yeah, that was Batman that said that.
No, I thought that's what you said.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you meant. I loved that. I thought the
that
funny
Superman
parts were
showed
really
up
funny.
and he just wrecked him. Like it wasn't even a problem. Like I liked seeing that moment at the end. As far as, do you want to get into where we want them to go from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start over.
I just don't want any more. I wish this was a standalone movie. I don't want any more in the DC universe.
I think that
you don't want to see a Flash movie. You don't want to see
not these characters. I want I want my comics. I want them
Wonder
to
Woman.
Be,
I can't wait for another Wonder Woman.
I want
movie.
another Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, and if it continues, for her story from the first one, and even Justice League, fine. That's fine. I don't care. But just make a better Superman movie. Make a better Flash movie than what we've been getting. Like,
I think that there is enough.
I don't need a Joker movie. I don't need anything to tie into any of this. All the shit that's going on with this Batman movie with Matt Reeves, like this is a mess. And
I think
this should be an Arkham movie should be one of the easiest things in the world to do, to the story to tell. Like it's so awesome. This is what I
think.
I want it to be standalone.
Could happen, and this is what I think is going. This is what I think should happen, and this is what I think is going to happen.
This is my prediction that you're taking right now.
I think that Zack Snyder will be fired.
Yes.
And I think that there is enough good for them not to reboot it. I don't think it has to be completely rebooted. There is enough good where they can someone can do something to bring this franchise up from the ashes.
Matt Reeves.
I don't know if they'll give it to him completely.
Matt Reeves will absolutely. It's the same thing that happened with the Russo brothers.
Matt Reeves
the Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie ever. And now they took over fucking Infinity War.
For people that don't know, Matt Reeves did the Planet of the Apes movies, which in mine and Bill's opinion, and I believe Ryan's opinion, were all phenomenal. Yeah, I hope that they give it to Matt Reeves. I don't know if they will, but
Matt Reeves is doing a Batman Beyond movie. His franchise is Batman Beyond. Bruce Wayne will be played by probably Ben Affleck.
I would love it to be Michael Keaton. Holy
because
fuck.
people are talking about that. But remember I made that prediction like fucking months ago when the whole thing was like it's separate from the DCU, but it's in the DCU. My mind went straight to Batman Beyond.
Batgirl is not looking good like it's going to happen.
Like, it's just a mess
Joss
right
Whedon
now.
seemed to have shot himself in the foot.
I want these movies, but I want a good... Like, Wonder Woman was great because it was practically standalone. I want the Matt Reeves Batman movie to practically be standalone, which it's almost looking like it is going to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're already doing the Aquaman one, which odds are it's probably going to have no bearing on anything else in the DCU. So, like, why? Why bother?
Why would you even put... What was the point of making a Justice League movie then? Let me ask you that. If what you want right now is standalone movies, then why make the Justice League movie right now?
I agree. Like, they had to. They had everything leading up to this. They had to do it. There was so much.
They had one movie leading up to this.
They had
not
leading up
just
to it.
that, but I mean the fact that they've announced it.
Yeah.
The fact that they've just tried creating this universe.
Right.
They have one movie. They have Superman Returns. They have Batman vs Superman. They have Suicide Squad. They had Wonder Woman. That's 4 movies
Superman
before.
Return. It was Man of Steel.
Sorry,
and Man of Steel was not leading up to fucking anything.
But it was part of this universe.
Yeah, I know, but it wasn't leading to anything.
But now that Justice League is out, those are the 4 movies that lead up to this.
That's the first phase. So I guess you can call it.
Yeah. So yeah, there was groundwork laid for this, and they were advertised like this was something that was in motion before they could stop it. And from all the articles that I've seen, it should have stopped, but they pushed it forward. Like it ran into so many issues.
They're afraid. They were afraid to stop it. Like too many things were in motion. What was in motion? Zack Snyder saying, "We should do a Justice League movie next because I made Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice." Like, no, maybe you should shut up, Zack. Maybe you should shut up, and we should do like an Aquaman movie first, so you care about this character.
Zack Snyder lost a child.
A little bit more. Zack Snyder was making terrible movies before that tragedy happened, which I can't imagine that happening. But that's not an excuse for Justice League. Sorry. Going back, my last thing that I want to say about this is the day after I saw Justice League, I watched Man of Steel. Oh my god. Like, that movie is fucking amazing.
It's a great movie.
Really? I remember it being so boring.
Dude, watch it again.
You mean when when Jonathan Kent died by a tornado?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
You know what? That was a bigger threat and made more sense than whatever the fuck the mother boxes were.
Tornadoes. All right. Wow, that was a lot. Let's stop talking about that. Next up, Earth 919 podcast also asked, what is the greatest comic book movie adaptation onto film, live action, or animation? So not just this year. In general, favorite comic book movie, adaptation, whatever.
My favorite movie of all time is...
Film or...
My favorite movie of all time is Batman Begins. It was the one movie that Batman was the most Batman. When he's fighting, you can't see him. The camera was very sporadic. He's in the shadows. He's very hunched over like Batman. Dark Knight, I know, is the most popular Batman movie probably of all time. But Batman, that was a different Batman. Batman, you can see him fighting. He didn't feel like Batman in that to me. I love Dark Knight. Fucking love all 3 of those movies. I know a lot of people...
The third one is not good.
The third one is good. The third one is fucking good. Mm-hmm. It is, but it doesn't compare to the first 2. But it doesn't mean it's not good.
I'd stand by the fact it's not even good.
You're crazy.
I love Dark Knight. It's one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. Batman Begins is amazing. I feel like Rises is borderline bad, and I feel like Dark Knight is already starting to show its age, and it's scaring me. I don't like it.
I disagree.
No, I just don't think Christian Bale is looking good. It was on TV recently, and I saw it. And just the way he is as Batman, I just don't like it as much anymore.
I've never liked him.
But that's what I mean. I feel like that's starting to show its...
I've never loved him as Batman. Let me put it that way.
I agree. I liked him. I liked him as Batman. I didn't love him as Batman.
I like him. I like Christian Bale. But I didn't like obviously the voice that people make fun of for a reason.
In the first one it wasn't terrible, but they added voice to his voice, like, to it in the second movie, in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, and that made it bad.
My favorite comic book adaptation is 1989 Batman, Tim Burton's. That to me,
you're not wrong.
That shaped my life. Literally, it shaped my life. When I saw that when I was fucking 5 or 6 years old, my life changed.
And it was PG-13. It was a PG-13. It was like the first ever fucking PG-13 comic book movie. I don't know if that's accurate, but I feel like it's probably is. Can you think of a...
And Batman Returns, I fucking love too.
Like, people swear in Batman.
I wasn't even allowed
Batman.
to see him when I was younger.
Yeah.
Well, you, Ryan.
Like we've already talked about, Batman Begins is amazing. Avengers, I can't remember being as excited for a superhero movie as I ever had been for Avengers.
That is a movie that will show its age.
Because,
And
a
it
little
already
bit.
has.
I mean,
It already has.
I watched it not too long ago, and it is starting
Very
to show a little
corny.
bit. Yeah, all the Phase 1 Marvel stuff is starting to be really corny, especially Thor, Cap, Iron Man even.
I thought Cap 1 was super corny when it came out.
Yeah, they're showing their age, but Avengers was amazing, and it is a really good movie. I love that. The first thing I thought of, honestly, though, was Under the Red Hood, the animated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It is so good.
That was...
That would probably be my number 2 after Batman Begins, and it would maybe even fight for Batman Begins.
I was watching a ranker thing where it ranked all of the DC animated movies that came out, and that was number 2.
Really?
Out of like 25 animated movies.
Really? What beat it?
I think it was a Batman movie. I don't remember which one it was. It may have been a Justice League movie, but I remember
New
that was number
Frontiers.
2.
Man, I remember the first time.
Under the
watching
Red
that
Hood
movie.
is
remember the
such
fight
a
scenes?
good adaptation.
Do you remember when the one guy threw the car at him and he fucking like dove through the car, the open doors and stuff?
Do you remember when Red Hood jumped in the air and Batman shot his Gatling gun and it hit his foot and he turned around midair and slit it and cut the rope?
I need to watch it again.
Oh
How
my
come there
gosh.
hasn't been one of those for Hush?
Do you know what?
It's because they did Red Hood.
You think so?
It'd be difficult to do because now they're what the DC animated movies are doing is they're kind of following each other.
Oh.
So they did Red Hood. You can't do like Red Hood came after Hush.
No, it didn't. It came before.
Red Hood came after Hush.
Yeah,
No,
Red Hood came
it
after.
didn't. It came.
Red Hood 100% came. Think of the end of Hush.
Yeah, it ended with it showing Jason Todd.
Yeah.
But then it was Clayface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after that,
Was it?
he found out that Jason Todd
Was actually
is
there.
Red Hood.
Oh, okay.
And he was actually there.
I knew one came before the other, but I don't remember which one was which.
Yeah.
Judd Winnick.
So good. But yeah,
Awesome
that's
writer.
one of the first things I thought of.
Yeah.
What about Blade 2? Sorry, I just have to say Blade.
What about V for Vendetta?
Ooh. V for Vendetta is awesome. I have not seen that in years, though.
See, that movie holds up.
Does it?
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
so excited
It's
to
so
rewatch
weird.
that. I need to watch that again. Let's keep moving, though. The final question by Earth 919 podcast. What's the worst comic book movie you've ever seen? So the worst comic book movie out there is probably one I haven't seen because I've never seen Catwoman, but I want to say I saw Elektra, and that was bad.
I enjoyed it when I was younger because the
Did
fight
you?
scenes were awesome.
What's the worst
It was
movie
so
that you've
bad.
seen that you hated the most, though? Not that you enjoyed, because you can
honestly-
enjoy a bad comic book
And,
movie.
and,
The first
and
one that comes to
can't-
mind is Airbender, but it's not a comic book movie.
I feel bad saying it, but there's a recent one because I walked out of the theater and I felt like it was a complete waste of time and I thought it was just so bad, but I absolutely hated Suicide Squad.
That's the one I was going to say.
I absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because it's
I was
so
mad
new.
'cause I wanted
I
to
was
like it.
angry. Yeah.
Defending the DVC movies and everything and then coming out of that movie. Yeah.
Isn't it funny that DC before like they had Batman and that was like the franchise that they had, but Marvel couldn't get a fucking like movie to save their lives.
I know.
They
tried so many
back in
different
the
things.
90s. Yeah, dude. It's just funny how like the tables have turned.
I haven't seen it, but it has a terrible reputation. Green Lantern.
I haven't seen it either.
Green Lantern, there's a part in it where he makes a
Gatling gun?
gigantic
Or the race car track?
Race car track. He makes a gigantic race car track to save somebody. Because
See, I
he
worked-
saw a race car track earlier. Like a fucking Hot Wheels race
Yeah,
car track.
yeah.
Like not like a
Not just a slide or
Right.
a pillow. I worked at the theater during that and Elektra, which is why I feel like I've seen most of each of those movies just from being at the theater during it. Thanks, guys. I do know that the Earth 919 podcast is planning on doing an All Invincible related episode after the series ends, so keep an eye out for that. Moving on, we've got Wyatt Bridges. He wrote in.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He wrote in via email. Remember, you can email us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com. Wyatt says, "Hey, guys, I thought of a few random questions, so feel free to pick and choose from the ones you'd like to discuss." First off, he asks, are you guys Star Wars fans? If so, what is your personal ranking of the Star Wars films? Mine is as follows, best to worst. So Wyatt puts them best to worst, Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Force Awakens, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones. So, in order to do our ranking, I think we should make it obvious. The prequels are the bottom 3, right?
Yes.
Do you guys think
100%.
that? Yes. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Which is the best of the prequels? TJ?
Revenge of the Sith because it has the best fighting.
Okay. Bill?
Action.
The Phantom Menace.
I agree with Bill.
Because it is the less terrible.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah. We all agree that Attack of the Clones is the worst.
Yes.
That
Okay.
movie's
I mean, I disagree
absolute
with you guys, but I think they're close. You know what I mean? I think that Phantom Menace just has a lot of boring in it.
Yeah.
Until you get to Darth Maul.
All right. So those 3 out of the way. With those 3 out of the way, what is now on the bottom? Do you guys agree with Wyatt, Rogue One?
Are we counting Rogue One? Because it's not.
He
It's
is.
a Star Wars story.
No, he is.
No, it's
Okay.
it's a Star Wars movie.
I mean, I would put it
Next, Rogue One. Yes.
there. I would put Rogue One there.
I did not like Rogue One at all.
Bad Star Wars movie?
Now, yeah, the next one's going from worst to best.
New Hope.
Okay. Wow.
No, wait. I'm sorry. The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I know you don't like Force
Yeah.
Awakens.
Wait.
My next least
No,
favorite.
I keep it Rogue One.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Then, so we've basically got we've got Force Awakens and the original 3. So now let's talk about those. Bill, Force Awakens was your least favorite of those. Would Rogue One be after that? Getting better? Or do you like Rogue One more than the original prequels? Or the original trilogy?
I would say that if I had to go like bottom up, you're talking about? Like
Either way,
5, 4, 3,
at this
2, 1?
point, what are your 3, 4 best at this point?
Give us your bottom to top.
Force Awakens.
Is your lowest?
Well, we're ignoring
out
prequels.
of, out of all those. So Force Awakens, then A New Hope, then Rogue One, then Return, then Empire.
Yeah. Almost the same. Mine's Rogue One, then A New Hope, Awakens, Jedi, Empire. I think we're the same except
It's
switching
very close
Jedi
to
and Empire.
Jedi and
No.
No.
Switching Awakens and New Hope.
Rogue One was number 3 for me.
Sorry. Either way.
Yeah.
Mine's different. Not much, but it is different.
Yeah.
Rogue One, A New Hope, Return, Empire, Force Awakens.
Your favorite Star Wars movie is The Force Awakens. You're fucking out
That
of your
movie is
fucking
what-
mind.
My third favorite is. The only ones I like more
cannot
is
believe
Empire and
that
Jedi.
I wasn't a Star Wars fan until Force Awakens blew me the fuck away.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren is such a good fucking character.
He's such a whiny little
But
bitch.
here's the thing. The first half of the movie when he's got his mask on is amazing. And then the fact that he turns into a whiny bitch, which plays into Anakin, was fucking awesome. I loved it. I don't like him as a whiny bitch. I hate that in the new trailer he smashes his helmet because I love his voice when he's got when he's got the helmet on. I love how sinister like every time he's talking, like him smashing the
I thought
smashing the computer
yeah.
with his lightsaber. Oh, so good.
TJ and I love Force Awakens. Bill does not like Force Awakens. TJ, you weren't a huge Star Wars fan until Force Awakens.
Right.
I've always loved Star Wars. Bill, have you?
Always.
You've always loved Star Wars?
Always.
Ryan,
always loved Star Wars.
I loved Star Wars, the prequel. You and I loved the Star Wars prequels when we were kids,
Oh.
and we played Young Jedi trading cards. But other than that, yeah, I loved them back then.
We were so wrong.
But after that, I haven't been until Force Awakens.
You know, the thing that bothers me about Force Awakens is that anybody who has to argue it has to come up with reasons to defend the terrible things about the movie. Like, oh, here's why it's awesome that he's a whiny little bitch. No, I don't want a whiny little bitch fucking... Imagine if Darth Vader was a whiny little bitch like Kylo Ren was.
He was in the prequels.
That the prequels are the worst fucking movies.
Bill, are you excited for Last Jedi?
Yes. Because I like Empire.
Yeah. Yes. I know. I'm so excited. Let's move along. Wyatt goes on to say... you have something else?
I just want... One other topic that I was going to bring up before was, what are your predictions for
Last Jedi?
For Last Jedi?
That's very predictable, actually.
Do you think that, just like Anakin did
I feel like I have to get in the right mindset for this.
Anakin in Attack of the Clones lost his arm. Luke in Empire lost his arm. Do you think Rey's going to lose her arm?
What I hope happens is I hope that there's theories going on around about her and Kylo teaming up.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's how the trailer ended. They were
I know,
hinting at it.
which could be editing. I know.
Yeah.
I want to believe that this movie ends with, whether it be Rey or Kylo or both, forming the gray side of the Force. I think that's what all this needs to be. I think that's what
they need to explore,
this trilogy
white
needs
Jedis and gray Jedis.
I think that's what this trilogy needs to be.
That will be something new. So if something new came out of it like that, that would be amazing.
That's why the Jedi need to end.
Did you see? So there's a part in the trailer where Luke says, "This is not going to end the way that you think it is," and but then there's another TV spot that's not
I don't watch
related
any
to that,
of the TV spots,
and it shows and it's raining, and he's sitting in the rain, sitting like that, and it's Rey looking down at him like that.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah,
but I think that's editing.
Oh my god!
I think what's
Rey being flipped behind.
Yeah, what's going to happen is Rey is going to shun Luke and Snoke. She's going to
find Kylo.
Shun Luke sounds like a Mortal Kombat character.
She's going to be her own thing, and I think Kylo Ren is going to support her with that. I think that the reason why he's so conflicted is because that he can't find a happy medium.
And even if that is the case, and we predict that, I don't care. That's so cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is something different. That is not light side, dark side, fucking Skywalker drama.
So I'm hoping that's what it is, and I'm excited. Yeah. Can't wait. Isn't it crazy to think that the next time we record a podcast, we will have seen it?
And we'll talk about it.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Oh God, please don't be bad and don't be the same movie.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. They gave him his own trilogy.
There's Imperial Walkers in it. Good. There's Imperial Walkers in it, and there were Imperial Walkers in Empire.
It's gonna be so good. Okay, moving on.
The same movie.
He also asks, what are your favorite video games of all time? What consoles/games did you grow up with? What have you been playing recently? So, what are your favorite video games of all time?
Ryan, go.
Okay. Off the top of my head, the Arkham series. I love, especially Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. Those are amazing games. I've always loved the Kingdom Hearts franchise because I'm a big Disney fan. Link to the Past is a childhood favorite. Lately, I just love Shovel Knight. I feel like it's becoming one of my favorite games of all time. So favorite games of all time. We're not talking too much about what we're playing now or anything, right?
That was one of the questions. You can answer.
No, that's fine. We'll just talk about favorite games of all time.
Favorite game of all time is Arkham City, which is the second in the Arkham franchise, but definitely a shout out to Mario 64 was my entire fucking childhood. That would probably be number 2. And I also have to say the Devil May Cry series, the Uncharted series, for me.
PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 is my favorite console of all time. It's what started me being... Well, that was one of the questions. My favorite game of all time and game series is Resident Evil 2, and then Resident Evil 1, and then Resident Evil 3. The original 3 that were on the PlayStation 1 were fucking my life. Those were my life. And then, the Arkham games, because that's Batman. I remember when...
It was a good Batman game. I
remember when they released the demo that was...
Yes, and we went to GameStop.
And we went to GameStop to play it.
Blown away.
And the fighting
was it Best Buy?
No, it was GameStop.
I thought
it was both, I think.
And we were playing the demo, and it was like... You were blocking in real time.
And you didn't know how you're doing it.
Redefined fighting in games. They still use
that is the basis, like how Mario created jumping and platforming, like Batman Arkham Asylum was fighting, dude. And
the fact that it was the animated series, the thing that we grew up on, it was like continuing that. It was Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy and like those characters that we knew and those voices and that tone. It was so good.
Remember how amazing that story was?
Yeah.
Why can't they just be like, let's just move this onto a big screen?
That's what I mean with this Matt Reeves thing. It bothers me so much. Growing up, though, I grew up, I distinctly remember having an NES and SNES, but not playing it too much. I remember going to friends' houses to play them because I'm pretty sure my dad sold our SNES for a Game Gear. Sega Game Gear.
Yeah, you fucking had a Game Gear.
Which was really fun. I love that. I mean,
I never understood why everybody was so obsessed with the Nintendo, but the Nintendo was in black and white, and it was tiny.
No, you're talking Game Boy.
That's what I meant.
You said Nintendo, but yes.
I meant Game Boy. I'm sorry.
The Game Boy versus Game Gear. Yes, that's what I said.
The Game Boy was in black and white, and it was just a square screen. I had a Game Gear, and it was widescreen and in color.
Yeah, it was way better.
Game Gear was not a widescreen.
Yes, it was.
No, it was not. It was a wide console, but if you look at it, it's like the same size as a Game Boy.
No.
Either way, the color was awesome. I remember playing like
X-Men. I had an X-Men game that was fucking so good.
Road Rash. That was a lot of fun. Other than that, PlayStation 1, played a lot of, let's see, that was Crash Bandicoot, Jet
Devil May Cry
Moto.
1.
No,
that was 2.
No, that was PS2,
You're right,
because
you're right.
then we went on PS2.
Crash Bandicoot Maximo. Remember,
Oh,
we even
Maximo.
played the shit out of that game. Fucking Maximo.
The first game I ever played on PS2 was Devil May Cry. My brother got that when it came out, because that was one of the launch titles or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, other than that, Bill, what did you grow up playing?
Like systems?
Yeah.
I didn't have a system until I had a PlayStation 1.
Okay.
I didn't. All my friends, we didn't have a lot of money, and
Yeah.
like it was never a thing that my parents were like into. Like my dad.
Do you
I feel
remember
like
one of the first video games you ever played?
Metal Gear Solid.
Really?
Like that
Of
I
your own,
played-
but do you remember playing at anybody else's house?
Oh
or
yeah,
anything like that?
like Mario 3,
Okay.
I think,
Yeah.
and like Donkey Kong Country on SNES, that shit, Sonic. But those were all at friends, like
Yeah.
like the kid that had the trampoline,
Yep.
like the kid that had the the Sega.
Mine was Sega, then Sega CD, then Nintendo 64, and then PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah. TJ, what have you been playing lately?
Evil Within 2, and also I purchased but have not started yet Uncharted, because I just got it
Oh,
on
yeah, Lost Legacy?
Black Friday. So,
The DLC, Lost Legacy, yeah.
or well, it's not, yeah.
Whatever.
Lost Legacy.
The not DLC. Bill, what have you been playing?
So I just beat, well, not just beat, but Wolfenstein,
Oh, two.
the new Colossus, which was fucking amazing.
I know, I need to do it. I need to do it.
And I'm playing the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Did you get to the DLC? Because I know you had to restart it.
Yeah, I did.
It's fun.
Once I got to level 15, I was like, fuck it. I
You're
have
getting
to
your
get
ass kicked, aren't you?
I'm getting my ass handed to me.
It's so
when I
hard.
started the DLC, I was at level 15. Now I'm at level like 32.
Because
Like you level up quick, cause
Okay.
yeah.
I went into it max level at the time, and I was dying.
Dude, they don't let up. It's like
That
it's
first
like
Scorcher robot.
oh my god.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
introduction to the DLC. You climb up the mountain and you're like, oh, this is really fun, and then fucking one slash from the
Yeah.
Scorcher thing.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. But I think I actually just beat that too.
Cool.
I'm not.
Oh, really?
I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
There's a little bit more even after you beat it, but that
Okay.
was really good. I did enjoy that. Otherwise, obviously playing Destiny, and yeah, Horizon was fun. I just got Everybody's Golf. I've been playing that with my brother. South Park is next up, I think, though. I still have to play Stick of Truth, but I got a copy of that, so I'm going to play through that. And then hopefully the superhero South Park, the sequel. Fractured Butthole.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Next up, Wyatt wants to know what our favorite curse word is. TJ, what's your favorite curse word?
I just feel like bitch works for everything.
I feel like yours
it
has
works
to be
for
bitch.
everything.
That's what I thought it would be.
It really does. Like when you're like excited, when you're pissed off, when you're in pain, it fucking works for everything. Bitch.
Instinctively, I want to say fuck because I
Yes.
say it a
Same.
lot.
Same.
I say it a lot.
And having motherfucker, like it's
Yeah.
just you can emphasize.
But I think that if a curse word was going to be like a regular part of vocabulary now, like be normal, I think it would be shit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, shit. Yeah, shit has become just. I probably say shit more than any other curse word.
Well, if you think about it, like shit is acceptable now on like cable TV.
It's true.
You know, so I think it's gonna be.
So
like
it is weird. I feel like if it's the one I use the most, it's shit. But I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite though.
I don't know if Ben and Nate can shed some light, but I hear that like certain words that you wouldn't think are swear words are actually swear words in the UK. Like bollocks is actually considered a swear word.
Like a really
this
bad
is what I
one.
heard. This is what I heard.
Really?
And like bloody hell is considered like a swear word, but I don't know if it's like considered a swear word like bitch is considered a swear word, or if it's like you don't want a child to be like what the hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not really a swear word, but it's frowned upon. Is it like that? Like Nate and Ben, reach out. Let us know what you think.
what's worse, fuck or bullocks?
I definitely think fuck would be.
No, I
but
think-
I want to know where bullocks ranks.
We need a ranking.
Well, because, okay, so let me ask you this: what is the least offensive swear word that you can say and rank up?
The least offensive?
Yeah, of the,
Oh,
like,
I
of
don't
the
have
main
to go
ones.
through
It depends
those.
upon what do you
Ass.
consider hell?
Ass. No,
Hell.
hell's a place.
Bastard.
Yeah.
No, I like the main
Yeah, I
ones
mean,
like ass,
bastards.
ass, shit, fuck, bitch.
Yeah,
Damn.
but then if it gets, then there's ones that aren't acceptable.
That we can't even say on
Yeah.
the podcast.
Let's move on. Finally, I know you guys are fans of Kinda Funny, so this may be an old topic, but I'll ask anyways. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Like I said, feel free to pick and choose which one of these you want to discuss and or drunkenly argue about. Keep up all the good work. Love, Wyatt. So, Bill,
I don't watch Kinda Funny.
You don't really watch.
Or listen, yeah.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
It's meat in between two pieces of bread. So I would say yes.
TJ?
Absolutely not.
I don't think
Absolutely.
What is a hot
fucking not.
dog?
Can I get a fucking? Can I go to Subway and get a hot dog? Can I go to any sandwich place and get a fucking hot dog?
Okay, is a cheeseburger a sandwich?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because I can't go to a sandwich place and get a fucking cheeseburger.
So is peanut butter and jelly a sandwich?
Yes.
Why? What makes it a sandwich?
The fact that it's considered a
No,
sandwich.
no, you can't. No. Why is peanut butter and jelly considered a sandwich?
What if I want? I mean,
Answer my question. Why is
gender equality? If it wants to be a sandwich, it's a sandwich. If it doesn't, who are you to say?
exactly? That's why a hot dog can be a fucking sandwich.
No one calls a hot dog a sandwich, though.
Right, but no one calls a cheeseburger
A hot dog
sandwich.
doesn't want to be
I think
considered a sandwich.
I think a cheeseburger and hamburger are sandwiches,
They are sandwiches.
but I don't think a hot dog is
Why?
because it's just not.
I don't eat.
I don't know.
I don't eat
At what
hot
point-
dogs on a bun.
I don't know.
I have an idea.
If you had,
I cut it up into little pieces like
if
I'm
you
a
had like a
kindergartner.
sausage wrap, I mean, is that a sandwich? Just because there's, some sort of bread wrapping meat. Like, at what point do you not call it a sandwich?
Okay.
Is an open faced sandwich a sandwich? There's one piece of bread.
Hey Siri. Define sandwich.
As a noun, it means an item of food consisting of two pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other filling between them, eaten as a light meal. Do you want to hear the next one?
Yes.
No. So, all right, hot dog is not two pieces of bread. It's one piece of bread cut down the middle.
Okay, but a cheeseburger
Two pieces of bread. I say it is.
with
I still
a
not-
filling
it's
in the
not a
middle.
sandwich.
Yes, it is a sandwich. It's defined as a sandwich. How? Okay, what if I take a lot of ham, okay, and I squash it into a patty, and I put it in between a bun? It's a ham sandwich, right?
But it
burger
looks
is
like
like
a
a
definitive
but it
thing.
looks
though.
like a
It's such a
cheeseburger. I
feel like the
separate thing.
I was gonna say I feel like the shape is important, but I guess the sub kind of ruins that.
A sub sandwich. A sub can be a sandwich. A sub is a sandwich.
Well,
a
yeah,
sub
it
is a
is.
sandwich shop.
It is, but a hot dog isn't. It just isn't.
I guess you're right. But I am 100 convinced that a hamburger cheeseburger is a sandwich.
Yeah.
I want to see you like go to Griffin and be like, "Can I get a hamburger sandwich?"
And no one will bat an eye at me.
No, I think they would.
Not if they
They
want
fucking
Not if
would.
they want a tip.
They'd be like, "What? How do you want
All
this
right,
made?"
we've only got a few more. Let's do this. Next up, from email, we've got Riley Day, who wrote in, and he says, "Yo guys, I've been listening to the podcast for the last year or so, but I never got a chance to write in with my thoughts on new issues because I live in Australia and I usually get my comics about a week or two later here."
Another shrimp on the barbie.
Thank you, Bill. So this works out well since this week's podcast episode isn't about a new issue. You guys previously brought up what Sean Makowitz mentioned in Invincible in issue 142. For everyone down with the beast, I'll just say that in 2018, it'll be a good year for you. I agree that with you guys, it's probably just going to be the reveal of the other Battle Beast prophecy in issue 144, since that issue comes out in January. But wouldn't it be cool if Kirkman used one last superhero trope in 144 to end the series? After Invincible, there's a post-credits or letters, page with a teaser to a new solo Battle Beast comic or something like that.
So we'll talk about that. And I don't necessarily think that is what Sean Makowitz meant. I said this before. I really think that he's going to be the first of the novelized books, or something along those lines.
So you don't think that it's because he's going to make an appearance
No,
in
we're
the
saying
last
if it's
issue
not that.
of? Okay.
Oh no, I think
Yeah.
you will.
We all think it most likely is
but
going
I
to be
think
just his
I think
reveal.
I don't know. I don't think that he would word it as 2018 is going to be a good year for you just because the last issue comes out in January of 2018. Why
He
would the
did mention
whole
the
year
entire
be good?
year. Yeah. Because
It
it's
is-
that good.
It is
I think it's the first
wording,
piece
yeah.
of other media that Kirkman's talking about.
I think it'd be
and
cool.
What Makowitz is talking about. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
I agree.
Fair.
I think it would be cool if it was another comic, Riley. But I agree with TJ. I think it's more likely to be the book because I think Kirkman is done doing Invincible tie-ins
Would
and
you
stuff like that.
want to read? Now we read zombie books and novels, but would you want to read a superhero book?
yes,
Yes.
A Battle Beast book?
Yes. Have you ever read a
Absolutely.
superhero book?
No.
That's
I
why I
haven't.
kind of want to.
I have.
It could be awesome.
What?
I read I can't even remember
No
the name
Man's
of it,
Land,
but it was
the Batman one.
Oh, I read that.
I read that.
I read that.
There was I can't remember. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it, but it was actually written by Stan Lee, and it's very like
Interesting.
It's like Big Hero 6. It's a lot like that. It was actually a lot of fun.
Is it
was
called Big
No.
Hero 6? Okay.
good. Is Big Hero 6 a Marvel movie?
Yes.
Technically,
Just because
kinda?
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
it
a Disney
is.
movie.
It's
just
a
because they
Marvel.
own each other. Big
It's
Hero
a
6
Marvel.
isn't Marvel.
Yes, it is. The headline that comes up is Marvel. You're embarrassing yourself right now, TJ.
you're gonna look that up. I'm gonna move on to the next question. Riley continues. You guys have also brought up that you like the show Comic Book Men, which is one of my favorite shows. I was curious. Have any of you guys listened to the podcast? Tell him Steve Dave that the show is based on. If you haven't, I think you should check it out. TJ.
Disney's Big Hero 6. It's
Marvel.
no Marvel.
TJ.
No fucking Marvel. You embarrassed yourself. You apologize to the fans.
TJ, Comic Book Men.
Yeah, love it. I'm
Yeah.
a little behind on it, but it's great. I haven't missed an episode except for the ones that I'm behind on, but I will obviously catch up on those.
Have you ever listened to the podcast that it's based off of?
No, I haven't.
Did you know it was based off a podcast?
I knew that they had a podcast. I didn't know it was called that or had any other information on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I haven't.
Cool. Riley thinks you should check it out.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to Fat Man on Batman?
I've seen some episodes,
have.
or heard some episodes.
Man, the one with
Kevin Conroy?
I probably listened to that.
Mark Hamill.
Tom Hanks.
I probably listened to those.
Oh wait, no. What am I
That's
thinking
Nerdist.
of?
That's Nerdist.
Yeah.
No, the shit! Everybody's screaming at me. The writer for animated series he wrote.
Oh, the Freeze.
He also wrote,
The
yeah,
Freeze
but
one.
he also wrote Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
and I think Arkham City.
That was
Paul Dini.
Paul Dini.
Man,
Paul
that
Dini.
was a good episode.
That was a two-parter,
yeah,
I thought,
it was.
wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah.
He gets really emotional. It was very good.
It was very good. And I think he talks about not writing the newest game.
Yeah,
I
because he
think.
didn't write Arkham Knight or something
Right,
like that.
yeah.
All right, so Riley then goes on to say, also, any chance you guys have read Garth Ennis' comic book, The Boys? A few weeks ago, it got announced that Amazon finally picked up Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's
Yeah, we talked
TV
about that earlier.
adaptation. If the series gets made before the Invincible movie, then I feel like it might be somewhat close to what we could expect for the Invincible movie, since it's a comic, is a satire of the superhero comics, except a lot more crude and violent. Which is interesting. It's kind of like Preacher, because wasn't Preacher also Garth Ennis?
I don't know.
I want to say it was. Did you read The Boys, TJ? I thought
No.
you did.
Nope.
No, I haven't read it yet either. I'm interested though, and that's crazy that Seth Rogen's also has his finger in Amazon too,
Yeah.
as well as Hulu. That's crazy. And then he says, "Thank you for doing the podcast, guys. I love it, and it's great to hear people get hyped or geek out over Invincible the same way I do each month. It's going to be bittersweet when issue 144 comes out. Love, Riley." P.S. If you guys like Seinfeld and want to hear silly Australian accents, check out my podcast, Lord of the Idiots. Hey, can you blame a guy for trying to get some shameless self-promotion in his email? If you listen, be prepared to hear a lot of shit talking and shit stirring. Peace. That's cool. Is Australian the best accent?
I like British accent.
You call that a knife?
Okay, that
I
answers that
see you
question.
played knifey spoony before. From Simpsons?
Mitch Krasson on Twitter. He wants to know, what is the best vacation you have ever taken?
Best vacation I've ever taken was a cruise to Jamaica and jumping off of waterfalls. Mm-hmm. That was the best thing I've ever done.
I want to say the cruise that I went on with you guys, that wasn't that cruise. The cruise before that was one of my best vacations.
Zip lining
That
through
was
the
in
jungle.
2009.
That was amazing.
Doing the zip line, we went to a party on the deck
Yeah.
late at night. We don't go to parties. We don't go to clubs or any dance or any of that kind of shit. But we went to this dance party. There was a DJ. There was a pool. And we jumped in the pool with our clothes on.
They were about
They
to
were
shut.
ending it.
They were
Yeah.
They were shutting the party down. They were like, "All right, we're gonna do like one more song and that's gonna be it." And then we all jumped in the pool and everyone went nuts. And they were like, "We're gonna keep the party going for a
Yeah.
little while longer."
For like
and then
another hour,
It was like
yeah.
another hour and a half. It was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
a lot of fun.
That was a lot
memorable.
of fun.
And it was like the first big vacation since high school.
That we all took.
And
like,
we all did it together.
of
There
our
was a ton of
friends
us.
when we did the Secret Falls, we went into Jamaica for about an hour. It was like an hour ride into the island, which they tell you not to do.
Yep.
and it was on this dirt road, and then we walked up this stream river that had like 30-foot drops, and you literally jump off of the waterfall into this
They take
little
us down
like
the pond,
creek.
and the waterfalls get bigger and bigger and bigger, and we jumped off all of them, and it was just nuts.
That'd be so cool.
I jumped
It was
off
so much
when we
fun.
jumped off the highest one. I thought I would never see my nuts again. Like I hit the water in a way that they were gone. They were gone. But you know, I actually like more quaint vacations.
Yeah.
Like-
I gotta say, when I proposed, 2015, Cape Cod, it was just a perfect weekend. It was one of those trips where everything just happened perfectly. You know, like even the little things like, how did I get a parking spot up front when this place is packed? I mean,
yeah.
From my proposal itself happening, like fireworks went off completely unplanned. Like it was just a perfect weekend, and the weather was perfect. Everything was great. Yeah.
One that Liz and I went on, we went up to what are the two big parks? Letchworth and the other one that you it starts with an A.
Yeah. Alcott. No. Allegheny.
Allegheny State Park. It was one of those two, but my dad had this RV from the 70s, maybe the 80s, and I drove it up there like a van-sized RV. And it was in October, and I took like a long weekend, and we got there, I parked it, we hooked up like the battery and the propane and stuff like that, and the next day when we woke up, there was about 3 feet of snow on the ground. And it was the coolest camping trip I've ever been on, because we were like, fuck it, let's go hiking. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we were soaked to the bone, like with how much snow was there. But it was awesome. We went and saw this place where there were like gigantic boulders in the middle of the woods, because there were glacier rocks, like where a glacier came through. That was really, really fucking cool.
Yeah. Then we've got an email from Jordan Gilbert. He says, "Hey guys, I don't have much to ask, but here's some things I can think of at this time. How did you like Justice League and hopes for the DC Cinematic Universe going forward?" Kind of covered that earlier. He also wants to know if we've watched The Punisher, and if so, how do you like it so far, and have you read the Max Punisher series? Did you guys get to watch Punisher yet?
I watched the first half of the first episode and fell asleep, but it was because it was late and I was tired. It had no bearing on what I thought of it, and I just have not had a chance to get. I want to. I'm looking forward to it.
I loved the Daredevil series. I loved the Jessica Jones series. But after the Luke Cage. After Luke Cage and after I tried to get into Luke Cage and I thought it was I couldn't do it.
Did you know that Luke Cage
I
is
watched half of it.
reviewed?
And then
Yeah.
Iron Fist, I heard just awful things. I liked Punisher in Daredevil, but after Luke Cage and
You lost
I
interest.
haven't. I don't know if I would go that far. It's just I got better things to do.
Yeah.
I don't feel inclined to. Maybe if I'm bored one day, I'll start it. Or if like Daredevil season 3 comes out.
I'm the bigger Marvel fan, and I want to watch everything Marvel. I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., love it, and I have not watched Iron Fist. Wow.
You were right the first time.
Was I?
You said Iron Fist. Iron Fist.
Iron Fist,
I haven't
and then
watched,
he fished.
and then he fished. I haven't watched Iron Fist or Defenders because I want to
another
watch
one I
them.
haven't seen that either.
I want to watch them in order. So I am excited for Punisher, but I have to get through Iron Fist first. But I will get to it.
I don't think any of us have watched
The Defenders.
or have read Max Punisher.
Do you want to? We're getting close to the bottom here. So, Infinity Ward, the trailer.
I saw it a long time ago because it got leaked. And
That
it
was a
just
completely
stayed-
different trailer.
different-
though.
No, it wasn't. There were
Yes, it
there were
was.
parts of that. Peter Parker with his hair standing up on the bus. That was all in there. That was
well,
like
people were saying that it was different. I didn't see the original, so I'm assuming it was different.
I think it was different, but it was still Infinity War. It was just
Okay.
a,
Well, what did you think of the new trailer?
I thought it was okay.
Really?
Yeah, I felt the same way,
What?
TJ.
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
crazy?
I was just like,
I think Captain America looks fucking hilarious.
What?
I watched it
with his hair all slicked back.
I watched it at work, and Amanda, my assistant manager, she was watching it with me, and she's like, "Why is Wolverine in it?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "It's not Wolverine."
It looks like they're trying. I thought the same
And I
thing.
stopped, and I'm
swear to
like,
God.
"It's Chris Evans from Snowpiercer."
I thought the same thing. Snowpiercer was a fucking good movie.
It is a fucking awesome. We
still
watched
didn't
that
see it.
together. You haven't seen
No,
it?
we
No.
didn't.
Yes, we did.
I watched it, and I was excited to tell you and Liz about it, and then when I told you about it, you said that you had just watched it the night before.
Right. Didn't we watch it together, though? I feel like we did.
Maybe we rewatched it
Okay,
together.
maybe. Anyways.
I thought it looks awesome. I can't wait for Infinity War. It is so exciting. The fact that, and I was talking to our friend Matt about this, they have accomplished something that has never been done before. Say what you will about some of the movies, whether you like them or not, but when Infinity War comes out, there will have been 18 movies in this universe, and none of them are trash. None of them are bad movies. You might not like them more than the others or so like that. You rank them and all, but they're like so good, and they've led up to this. They're consistent, and the amount of characters they have in this, of course, yeah, I'm scared, too many people in it, but you know what? I was scared for Avengers, and I was scared for Age of Ultron and Civil War, and I trust in the Russo brothers. I think the trailer looks amazing. I cannot wait for this. It's such a culmination, and I cannot wait for what these movies are going to mean for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm so excited because I know what... Oh, my gosh.
They said it's ending, that this is the finale.
This is, I want them to shake it up, and I think that they're going to get into, reality altering things, and things are going to be so different afterwards, and that's really exciting.
100%.
I want characters to die. During the trailer, Thanos says, one does not consider fun when balancing the universe, but I have to say, this put a smile on my face. That sounds like Conquest. That's so awesome. I cannot wait.
That was
him
a
just
very-
laying out Iron Man, him fucking up Spider-Man. This is going to... I'm so excited for it.
Why doesn't he have his helmet on? Why did they change the way that he looks compared to...
I've heard something
him?
about the fact that this is a spiritual journey for him or something like that, so he's just wearing regular... I don't know. Because it has to be there has to be a reason, because he definitely looks better with it on. So why wouldn't they have it on? Yeah.
Way better.
I'm sure there's a reason, though. I don't know.
I feel like it has to be all... What's her name? Aurora? What's her name from Guardians of the Galaxy? Maybe I'm way off.
Gamora?
Gamora. I wasn't that far off.
No, I guess not.
I've only seen those
What
movies
about
once.
her? What about her?
She's the daughter, isn't she, of Thanos?
So she
Yeah,
took
so
his
is Nebula.
helmet?
What?
Oh, you're
I'm
saying
not
the
talking
movie
about
has to be all
helmet.
about her?
Oh,
I feel like that has to be a huge plot line
Yeah.
that they got, especially if this is the finale.
I don't think the Guardians are going to get there till the very end of the movie.
I agree. Who's going to die?
Who's going to die?
Yeah.
Obviously, not obviously, but I think Tony Stark is going to sacrifice himself. I think
He's absolutely gonna die.
Captain America is 100% going to die.
So
agree.
Thor
I think
Ragnarok
after
didn't...
Cap dies, Iron Man, Tony Stark might do something to sacrifice himself. I want him to put on the gauntlet. I want somebody to put on the gauntlet and just completely change things and sacrifice themselves, because obviously they couldn't handle it.
So Ragnarok didn't end with Thor flying through space?
Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. You're gonna have to see the movie.
No,
TJ.
actually, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, because Thor, at the end of the trailer, meets the Guardians, and he's like, "Who the hell are you guys?" And then it's the little Mantis girl waves.
Yeah, but
So obviously they have to be.
In
No,
the
they're going to be in the
original
beginning,
Thor-
but they're not going to be on Earth
In the
until
original trailer, Thor was flying through space and landed on their windshield,
the end.
and that's why he
Thor
was
Ragnarok ends with
him flying
what?
through space.
No, it's not. But
why?
yes.
Okay.
Why he is?
There's
All right. So yeah, the original one I think that was leaked, the one that I was talking about, was him flying through
Yes.
space and landing on their
and was
windshield.
way better.
Yeah.
And was way better than this one. It,
Yeah.
it showed Thanos throwing the moon,
Something like that I
at
heard,
him,
yeah.
which looked fucking crazy.
And then Jordan also wants to know, what is your favorite Dead Space game or moment?
We've talked
Seriously?
about this before,
Did he write this because we always argue about
Because we
Dead
always
Space?
talk about Dead Space, I'm assuming.
but
yeah.
we never elaborate on it. So
Wait, I have a fun little spin. I'm gonna guess yours.
you
Your
know
favorite
mine because
part.
I say it every time.
Your favorite part? Your favorite
Yeah.
Dead Space part?
Yeah, you say it
Dead
every.
Space 2 when you get back to the Ishimura?
Yeah.
Okay. What's mine?
I bet you don't even really have one. You're just gonna talk about how one was so scary about how you peek around corners and you never know what's there, and that's what makes it scary, is not knowing.
My favorite Dead Space moment is also when you go back to the Ishimura.
But your favorite one is Dead Space 1.
Right, and that's why my favorite part in any game is when you go back to the Ishimura, is because Dead Space 1 is so amazing.
Yeah. Going back to Ishimura was awesome. The end of Dead Space 1 was amazing. Dead Space 1 is just such a brilliant game. It kind of ties into Jordan's next question, is the thought on the Alien series, for the same reason that Alien 1 is my favorite Alien. Like, it's so good.
I agree with Alien 1 being
But
the
Dead Space
best.
1, the HUD being on your back and using, like, your hand to, like, light the way, the rotating the gun to cut off limbs, it was terrifying, and I don't even like those kind of games. It was such a good game.
The atmosphere was really amazing. I remember in the first game when an asteroid goes through the hull of the ship right in front of you, and you like look outside, just like that kind of stuff. But
Like, remember when
The
sound
flying
goes
through
away?
space,
Oh,
I actually
getting from one place to the other with no air.
yeah.
my favorite part, my favorite memory of Dead Space was not in the game.
What was it?
Do you know what it was?
It was in the Move one.
No,
No.
it's the trailer. It was the Twinkle Twinkle, Little Star trailer. Do you remember how
Was it the
awesome?
hand?
Huh?
Was that when the hand floats by or something like
Yeah,
that?
it just showed like
Yeah.
like the Ishimura like above
And
the
it, like,
planet
kept
and stuff
cutting
like
away.
that. And yeah, and it kept like cutting away, and it was just this girl
Yeah.
singing it like a cappella, like all weird and eerie and stuff. Yeah.
What about the Alien series? I mean, I love the first one because of what it is. The same reason we've talked about several times tonight about Batman Begins versus Dark Knight, which is
Why don't people like Alien 3?
the prison one.
Yeah.
That was good.
Oh, that was all right.
I love that movie.
It was written by Joss Whedon. You're welcome.
And it was directed by David Fincher, who
Was it really?
also directed the Facebook movie. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
David Fincher directs like almost
Lots.
lots of great movies.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
But I thought it was good.
That's my favorite one, and I think it's because I saw that one oddly enough first when I was little. Like that was the first one that I saw.
Yeah.
And then I think I saw 2, then 1, which is very bizarre.
Jordan wants to know what you guys thought of Covenant because I didn't see it.
So with Covenant, in talking about what we think about Covenant, we have to talk about Prometheus. And Bill and my opinion about it is the same, but very different from what everybody else's is. Because people didn't really care for Prometheus, but Bill and I
like
loved
Prometheus.
it. Bill and I loved it.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't like I consider it part of the original Alien universe. I do, but it has a completely different feel. Completely different. But I'm okay with that. It's just like their take on the Alien universe and expanding it, and I loved Prometheus. Covenant I thought was a great follow-up. I thought it was good. I don't think it was excellent. I thought it was decent. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think that Ridley Scott was actually in an interview where he said that the alien as a monster has run out of steam. Like
Really?
he said that,
Wow.
yeah, during and it's recorded, and everyone was like, But I guess what he wanted to do next was do a movie solely in the universe, but more about the androids, which I think are the most interesting part of it, with like David and stuff. But yeah, Prometheus is by far, like from a tone standpoint, is one of the better science fiction movies of like the new generation. But you know what? I think that we should talk about now, because we talked about Dead Space, and then we talked about Alien. Did you guys play Alien Isolation?
No.
No? Did you play it?
No.
Seriously? The tone of that game captures
Dead
the
Space.
first Alien perfectly.
Oh yeah, but that's the one where you had to keep hiding and running, and it was chasing you. Like
Yeah, there's one alien, you have no weapons. I mean,
Yeah.
you have a gun and stuff, but you could sit there and unload on the alien, and you will die.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way to save you. You have to hide from it.
no, I didn't play it. I heard good things though.
Yeah.
And I remember you playing it.
Yeah. It gets a little redundant towards the end.
Yeah.
But
Is it like a few hours too long?
I'd say, yeah, maybe 2 hours too long.
Yeah.
But still, awesome game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jordan. And that I think wraps up.
This was a long episode.
This was a really long episode.
Holy cow. We have a lot of listeners that
Holy
want to know.
cow.
Holy tamale is my favorite swear word in case.
Tamale? Bill.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
You can't
Who
say
says
that. I'm gonna
holy
have to
moly?
edit that out.
What movie?
What?
The Big Nothing. Yeah. The Big
Oh, good
Nothing.
movie.
Yeah, very good movie with Simon Pegg and the guy from Friends.
David Schwimmer.
Who directed
Schwimmer.
that movie. He did.
Like I said, that does it. Thank you again to everybody that wrote in. That was a lot. We hope you enjoyed listening to this. Just our random ramblings. I don't know what I'm going to call this episode yet, but I got to name it tonight. And I hope everybody enjoyed. We're going to be back in, remember, 3 weeks. The week the new issue comes out, 143 comes out. The
Well-
second to last, the penultimate issue of Invincible.
Which is always the best of everything. Like, everything's penultimate episode is always the best. Like, Game of Thrones. Yeah.
So we'll be back 2 days after that issue comes out. But in the meantime, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, we'll be back as the Invincible podcast in 3 weeks, but but if you want to fix...
Yeah, we're going to try and get out that video game stream where we talk about Invincible as a fighting game, play some Injustice 2. It should be a YouTube video that we put up.
Follow us on Twitter and Facebook for updates.
That's right. And write to us at theinvinciblepodcast@gmail.com.
And I veto playing the Justice game. Injustice, and I think that we should play Dead Space. 1 and 2.
We should play
straight through.
If you have thoughts on Invincible as a fighting game, more specific things like characters and locations or anything like that, feel free to write in. We'll talk about it on the stream when we do it.
Or just watch us on the live stream and chat in.
Yeah. Obviously, that would be even better.
I don't know how that works.
Yay! We'll figure it out.
All right.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Good night.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks, look at me. I'm Mr. Meeseeks, yes sirree.